So last session, it was all pretty standard for the start of a story arc. Y'all were standing around talking about what you wanted to do, how you wanted to accomplish things, and the choices before you were this: either help the Doom Raiders escape justice and get out of jail, or stay in jail on a low charge. That's what Schemo wanted, or help the Artificer as she tries to sentence the Doom Raiders to death for their crimes. She doesn't have enough evidence for the crimes that she's trying to convict them of, so she has asked you to fabricate evidence. At the end of the session, you all agreed that since the Doom Raiders are evil and going for the Vaults of Dragons, you would help the Artificer, even if it is corrupt. You would help fabricate evidence against the Doom Raiders to get them either thrown in jail for life or executed. You also agreed that you wanted to help Schemo, your friend, see that his family, the rest of the Doom Raiders, are evil and wicked, and that he shouldn't he shouldn't have so much faith in them because they are dangerous people. And then at the very end of the session, you went downstairs to the basement to interrogate the Doom Raider fanboy. This is someone who is such a fanatical fan of the Doom Raiders, it is almost spiritual in a way. And he, and I guess all the other fanboys and fangirls in Waterdeep, have developed some kind of spiritual connection with the Doom Raiders that grants them the power to sing and cast spells. One such spell is called I Don't Love You, where they can sing a sad lyric, and it kind of acts like thunder wave all around them in a 10-foot circle. That ability is on a recharge of 5 to 6 rounds. They can't do it all the time, but it will hurt you pretty bad if you fail the spell check. After he did that, EB expertly and quickly slid a knife into the fanboy's heart and killed him. As y'all were standing around talking and blaming Thorgrin for it, the spirit of that fanboy left his body, and Blinken quickly shot it down with a magic arrow. Whatever the Doom Raiders are up to, they seem to be up to no good. Having decided to frame the Doom Raiders, having decided to frame the Doom Raiders with this dead body in your basement, what would you like to do?
Well, we got a body. I think we need to find a suitable location to drop it off at that would prove to be incriminating for the Doom Raiders. Does anyone have the spell? There's a magic spell that can freeze a body in stasis momentarily for like a few hours or something like that. I'm not a cleric, so I can't recall the exact spell, but I've heard that there's something like this. Is anyone able to cast that? Because if there's like someone who does an autopsy, they're going to determine that. I mean, we're kind of planning evidence anyway. I don't know how much this really matters, but if we have the ability, it would make our case much more convincing.
Picking up what you're putting down, Sam, the Doom Raiders have been in jail for almost exactly 1 month.
Okay.
Well, I don't have this spell.
Well, then in that case, actually, then I'm thinking the opposite. So I was thinking of that spell because I just stabbed him. He's going to bleed out. It's not going to add up. If someone investigate, we dump a body in another location, they'll see, oh, the blood's missing. This person was murdered, then moved here. But if they've been in jail for a month, then actually we need the opposite. We need this body to kind of hurry up and decompose quite a bit. If we really want to be convincing, again, I don't know if this is even necessary.
What about those rats one day?
Ooh, yeah. Have some rat chew on them.
Yeah. We could do that. I'm sure there's some rats still around. I don't think the goblins ate every fucking rat here.
We'll see about that.
One of the goblins perks up. One of the goblins in the basement with you perks up and says, when we were sleeping in Uncle Inchy's room last night, we thought we heard rat noises coming from the floor above us, but we didn't go and check it out. We had plenty of rats already.
Okay, so that might be a thing. Yeah, we need to see if there are any rats there. I could check that out and I guess see if there's any rats and then
one of the other goblins says, "Hey, would these two other bodies in this tunnel be of use to you? There are two dead. There are two dead Assassins Guild members in your basement as well."
Okay.
Oh god, we're the be the ones getting arrested.
Yeah, y'all use this place like a trash can.
I think it'd be a good idea to dump these bodies somewhere else, away from our location. You know?
Yeah, I think that would be Thorgrin's job.
Yeah, let's make him do it.
Yeah, you can assign Thorgrin a task.
Like,
Should one of us
that-
try and act for Thorgrin based on what we think that he might say and act like?
I could totally do that.
You could do it as a joke. I won't let anybody speak for him. He's not here.
Okay, hear me out. Why don't we just kill more people?
Yeah, is there any old people around specifically?
Mm,
That's
How
what I
old
would.
How old are these goblins looking?
Two of them.
50?
Two of them are older than Inchi.
Do they have like gray hairs or like old people features?
Yeah. One's got a little.
Walker.
One's got a little tuft of a gray hair, and the other one is using a shovel as like a walking stick as he walks forward and takes a big bite out of the dirt as he's digging the tunnel with his mouth.
Oh yeah, the second Thorgrin caught that, he would have like picked him up to the ceiling, slammed him around, threw him to the ground. I'm just kidding.
Yeah. But yeah, I think we need to get rid of those bodies. I know Thorgrin had this stupid briefcase of holding anyways that had bodies in there before.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, I was gonna ask you if anybody had one of those because
Yeah,
I can enlarge and reduce them, but
the
I can only do
briefcase.
one at a time.
The briefcase of holding magically teleports to whatever player character is here this week. So yeah, one of you has it.
Oh, man.
Regardless, I'm adding it back to Thorgrin if I have it. So here you go. Go do something.
He is the one that
There's no
keeps the inventory for it.
Yeah.
If
Yeah,
no
put
one
two
wants it,
bodies on the list.
I'll use it to dump the bodies. I can go do that.
We can have Thorgrin dump the bodies while y'all do something.
Okay.
He says, "Okay, remember when I first showed up and I had an accent? That was fun, right?" And he goes over and walks up and picks up the assassins' bodies. And you want him to take the fanboy body too?
Yeah.
All right. Those all get packed up into the briefcase folding. He says, EB, I'm going to go dump them out by your boathouse where we dumped all those other assassins. Should be a good amount of fish that eat them.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Make them look all decayed.
He whistles a tune and wipes some blood on his tunic and steps up out of the basement and out of the session. Let's go to Inchi upstairs. Inchi, one of your goblin uncles, is eating some charred leftover remains of the rat kebabs they made last night. And you, Inchi, you are looking out the open window of your room, the room that was just refurbished but is already covered in blood and dirt and chili. And smells like home. It's a wonderful thing to have in this warm, insulated house that you are a part owner of. You're looking out on Troll Skull Alley, and you really never thought you would be here. The cold wind blows in your face, though. You're holding a letter in your hand. You know if you fold it up and say someone's name, that letter will be sent. What do you do?
Hey, dog fart.
Yes, nephew and she. Yes, nephew and she.
I might be doing something stupid.
He says, is it something you don't want to do?
I want to do it.
Then do it, boyo. Your mom didn't hike all the way here pregnant with you from Neverwinter just so you could sit around doing something you don't want to do.
And she whispers through the letter. Go
You-
to Mr. Schemy, little bird.
The paper folds up in your hands, turns into an origami bird, and flies out the window. Inchi, you know the rest of your friends are downstairs. What do you do?
And she pats dog fart on the shoulder and walks downstairs.
It says, you're a good kid, Schemo.
Yeah,
Or
you're
Inchi.
getting old.
You're a good kid, Inchi.
Yeah, why aren't you downstairs mining?
So I wanted some rat kebab.
Eat and get. All
Yeah,
right.
you're a hard ass. You're a hard ass, nephew Inchi. I take it all back. Inchi, do you go downstairs?
Yeah, finish up. And yeah, and she walks downstairs.
All right, you walk downstairs into the bar, and Elzerna says, "Everyone went down into the basement. Must have been some commotion."
Okay. Yeah, I mean it's usually some commotion with these guys. And she goes downstairs to join the rest.
All right, everybody else, E.B., Huel, and Blinken, and she comes down into the basement with his Uncle Dogfart. Uncle Dogfart and all the goblins start
Uncle Dogfart.
mining the tunnel. Uncle Dogfart is also really old and uses shovel as a
Really?
cane. Yeah, he's the other adult goblin. All right, guys, what do y'all want to do this session?
This is an Adult Swim show.
Only when it's Inchy by himself. Over here, I have made a list of suggestions that you could do to frame the Doom Raiders. You can use that as a jumping off point. You can also come up with your own ideas. It's just suggestions. Below those suggestions are the other jobs that you have going. Make Schemo see his family is wicked. Change the Artificer's Bismuth heart to Corvalite. And Prisoner 13. Somewhere in the End prison in Waterdeep, there is the architect of the Vault of Dragons. Find her and interrogate her. That was a mission given to you by the Golden Keys.
All right. Well, what happened down here?
Some crazy fanboy was talking about getting horny and he died, and
We were attacked.
yeah, I don't know, some weird fetish that he had. I'm not even, I don't know.
It was a
He died?
misinterpretation of what happened, but that's the gist of it.
He died because of horns. Like,
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
from
he's a bit, yeah, it's a bit horny during that time. But anyways, I think what I want to do while you all are probably thinking of something dumb, I'm going to see if I could talk to Schemo and see if if I could talk to him and figure out why he really loves his family.
Okay. Sam, also on this sheet here, there's something called Wicked Actions. These are things that if you do them, I will give the group inspiration. That means that the group will have a single point of inspiration that they can pass around or decide who gets to use it. You can,
They're a lawyer.
yeah, you can stack these as well. So it's possible to have, 5 wicked inspirations. But again, you don't have to do this. These are things that would be exceptionally hard to do. But it's like completing the mission on S rank.
Nice. Okay, gotcha.
Okay, so Blinken wants to go find Schema Weirdbottle. You know that he is at Colot Towers, securing it, making sure all the Doom Raiders' many years of adventuring gear isn't being stolen, because last time Thorgrin blamed some random people for the break-in that Thorgrin did of the beer golem. Huel, what do you want to do?
I mean, he looks confused for sure, like conflicted. He wants to, man, let's go get Schemo, but Annabeth, just see confusion.
Annabeth is at Blackstaff Tower getting ready for the trial that takes place this afternoon. Speaking of which, y'all have, it's like 11 o'clock right now. I'm going to say the trial starts at 6. So y'all have about 6 hours to get to Blackstaff Tower with some evidence against the Doom Raiders.
I guess we want to find Schemo, right?
That's what Blinken's doing. EB, how do you feel? What do you want to do?
So to recap, we got the bodies are getting dumped by Thorgrim.
Mm-hmm.
And then, sorry, what were the goblins doing again? Or were they not involved as of yet?
These goblins?
Yeah.
They're digging the tunnel.
We could, I like the idea of putting a goblin on the jury. I don't know how a jury is selected in Waterdeep, but that would be...
This would be the first time I'm telling anyone this, but EB and Blinken would know that juries in Waterdeep, they start with a pool of 9 selected at random from the city, and then the prosecution and defense get to whittle that down to 3. So in
only
court,
3 jurors. Okay,
only 3 jurors. Yep.
gotcha. Seems like a long shot, but we could try.
I'll get one of them to go to court.
Do you have anyone, any of the goblins that are literate or know anything about the court?
Well, the wisest of them is Jigglestink, but he's not he's not very friendly.
Friendly, yeah.
No.
We could ply him with promises of what are these sorts? What would motivate them?
Rat.
Oh, just rats. Well, okay.
I mean, I don't know. Garbage. Dirt over there likes dirt, and Dirt is the one that was eating the dirt earlier.
Yeah, Dirt's the other older one.
Yeah.
So
I call out to. I say, which one of you is Jigglestink?
One of these younger, cockier goblins steps from the back and wipes some dirt from his mouth and says, "I read more than you, but I don't fucking like you."
I say, how would you like a big plate of scraps, juicy, delectable table scraps?
Hey, I don't want scraps.
Jigglestick has a similar reaction.
What did you? Sorry, I missed what you said.
I want scraps.
Well, they can be yours. I'll say this.
I'm listening.
I'll reserve a big batch of really choice, stinky, not too old, but not too fresh table scraps just for you if
And she's salivating.
if you if you participate on the jury of this trial that is upcoming. I'll fill you in on all the details, all the complicated stuff. But if you're willing and cooperative, I'll guarantee that this extra award will be yours.
He says, "Whoa, whoa, whoa. I don't know about participating in a trial. That's just how the state binds you to their set of rules, because they have a monopoly on violence. My friend Throm's been telling me a lot about it." He's well read.
I wasn't expecting that. Well, the offer stands. This is a very important trial for all of us here.
You could upgrade
One
it.
hand washes the other, or one hand cakes the other with dirt. I don't know the goblin expression.
He says, I'm picking up what you're putting down, for sure, Gnome. Your buddy over there, the halfling, Huel, he's been talking a lot about this ratatouille made from real rats. I want to try that.
Well, maybe we can make that happen.
He says, I'm
He's
listening.
taking a sip of his flask, he spits it out. He says that.
Sam, you would have to order that from the Yawning Portal, and it would cost you 2 silver pieces.
Okay.
Okay.
Hey, that ain't. No, I'll make that happen. I mean, after all, if we whittle this down, this is a bribe, a cost of doing business. So
he says, yeah, let's both be honest here about it. And he walks forward to you and he spits in his hands and holds it out to make a deal.
I spit in my hand and shake it. And Mike, you get inspiration from me because that's what they do in Deadwood.
Hell yeah. The inspiration.
Yeah.
He says,
That means
okay.
you could re-roll one dice if you want to kill us.
Yeah, Sam, I can only use that inspiration against or for you.
Okay.
He says, okay, well, I need different clothes, and you look at his clothes that are covered in rat blood and dirt.
You may need something that is slightly more presentable to the establishment of this city. I don't see anything wrong with it personally, but you may want to dress to impress. This will go a long way in our future endeavors.
Well, I'm working for you, so you should provide the uniform.
All right, fair enough.
All right, EB is going to get this goblin ready for jury duty. Inshi, what are you doing?
I might maybe Nilhor and Growlhound will have some pull in this courtroom. Maybe I go give them a little visit.
Yeah, sure, you absolutely could. Yep. Okay, so we're going to split the party 3 ways. EB is going to get this goblin ready for jury duty. EB, you would know that you need to take him to where the jurors are selected, which would be Blackstaff Tower before the trial. So you can head over there. Huel and Blinken are going to head to Colat Towers to talk to Schemo Weirdbottle about his family. And Inchi, you are going down into the sewers. Fantastic. Elzerna will stick with... she'll go with you, EB. So that you're not alone.
Okay.
And she doesn't want to go down into the sewers because, as she says, they're scary. I'm
Plus,
going
they
to...
smell like poopy.
Also that, yeah. Well, I'm used to that now because I'm around Inchi all the time. I'm going to...
Well, I mean, it builds character.
It certainly does. She's not acting like a noble child anymore.
Huh? Huh?
Okay. So, oh my god, that's so many tokens. Sam, I'm taking y'all to this map mostly because you haven't seen it much yet. This is Troll Skull Alley. This is Troll Skull Manor. This is your bar right here. This is Huel's cart back here. It doesn't have a horse. There's a city watch post right across the street, as well as a few hire coaches that you can get. Let's see. There's all these old versions of y'all on the map. Jesus. Sam, right down the street would actually be your friend Vincent Trench's house / private detective business. And then across the street, there's an apothecary. There's an armorer around here. There's a clothing shop. There's a general store, magic shop. Pretty much anything an adventurer could want would be available on this street. Okay?
All right.
So if you ever need to do any shopping or anything, you can just dip right here into Troll Skull Alley. Across the street at Corlin's Crown, I think we've even said they do. They have some clothes there, and then there's a clothier all the way on the other side of the street. Inchi, there's sewer access here as well. So Inchi's going to head down there. Actually, everybody roll initiative so that we can just establish a turn order here.
Alrighty.
Initiative.
Come on, roll 20. You're almost there.
Blinken with a 7. Sam with the 21. Thorin isn't here today. Inchi with the 3. All right, so it's going to be EB first. EB, you step out onto the wintry streets of Troll Skull of Waterdeep. You are in Troll Skull Alley. There are many places to shop for clothes in Waterdeep, but Troll Skull Alley has a few. Corleon's Crown across the street is fancy wear, and then the clothier over here will have more general wear. Which would you like to go to?
Go to the clothier.
All right. So you walk into this clothier with the goblin, and he is picking his nose as he walks in, covered in rat blood and dirt. And he says, "Hey, they got goblin clothes here. Nice. Very nice." Sam, how would you like to dress up this goblin?
I'm gonna probably I want to stick to a blue collar but not filthy garb and something that says that he is making effort, but not something that is like he's putting on a costume. I want it still to appear as though that he has picked these clothes out himself, that he has saved his Sunday best for this occasion. So
Okay. All right. So you find like a button-up shirt.
a burlap sack.
Yeah. You find a button-up shirt and then like maybe a coat or something that looks like it's made out of a more burlap material. Some decent-looking shoes. And he says, "What are those?" "No, those are city people's shoes. Those go on city people's feet. Not me, though." And he reaches out and stretches all his toes. "Gotta feel the dirt underneath me."
You're not going to have dirt in the courtroom. You need shoes.
Sam, roll a charisma check.
Okay, charisma.
DC
16.
8. Okay. He says, fine. Just give me something where my toes can stretch. Sam, altogether, this is
Give him
going
Crocs.
this is going to cost you 2 gold pieces.
Damn. All right. I get
Or-
it. Clothes are not cheap.
Yeah. It's
Even
the
in Fantasyland.
it's the shoes that really make it 2 gold pieces.
Gotcha. Yeah.
All right. So you dress him in that, and he his shirt gets tucked in, and like he kind of untucks it. He seems uncomfortable with it, but he looks fine. He looks good. Waterdeep is a very progressive city. They don't really discriminate against any race unless they're inherently evil. Like yeah.
Mind flayers.
Yeah, like all kinds of people. Even a mind flayer that like announced himself would probably be fine as long as he wasn't doing
If he
anything
gave
evil.
everyone enough time.
Yeah. What like that good mind flayer from Baldur's Gate? He could probably walk around here.
Okay.
I don't probably not walk around, but like the city would be aware of him and not care.
Yeah.
Okay, you are exiting the clothier shop. Do you want to talk to anybody before you go to Blackstaff Tower?
No, I think we'll get down to business and we'll go right there.
All right, you can walk or you can hire a rickshaw or get on a coach that has about 12 other people in it.
I'll hire a rickshaw. How much do they cost?
To get you all the way to Blackstaff Tower, that'll cost you about 3 silver pieces.
I'll pay it.
All right. And Samwise goes off on Delzoran Street in a rickshaw with a goblin. Next up is Huel and Blinken. Elzerna waves goodbye to you both as you also walk down south, and you are going to head to Kolot Towers. How do you want to get there?
Well, I look at Hill. What do you want to do? Should we just take a coach, or should we just walk there? Do we want to ride on a rickshaw?
How far is it?
Blackstaff Tower. Blackstaff Tower would only take you about 15 minutes to walk to.
We're going to see Schemo, right? That's where he is?
Oh, yeah, no, that's way past the yawning portal. If you walked, it would take you about 40 minutes. If you took a rickshaw or a cart, it would take you only about 10.
Tis quite a distance. We could take a coach.
Yeah, we'll do coach.
All right, y'all get on a coach. It's fancier and more comfortable than a rickshaw. There's about 4 other people on it. For 2 people, all the way to the southern ward, it's going to cost 1 gold piece.
Okay. I'll be like looking at Hill. It's my treat. No worry, I'll pay for the gold.
Yeah, thanks, pal.
Thanks, pal.
Thanks, pal. Sam, I forgot to say, Elzerna hops along on the rickshaw with you.
Right.
All right, so Blinken and Huel get all the way to Kolot Towers. The way that you get to Kolot Towers is you come down the way of the dragon. You actually pass by the beer golem, which you notice has its door kicked down, and there is now some city watch standing guard outside it. Apparently someone has reported a break-in. You head about a block behind that, and you get to Kolot Towers. Kolot Towers is actually 2 towers that you have been near before. I don't think either of you went in.
No, I don't think so.
Inchi went in, and then someone went in to save him. No, Huel, you made it in here. Huel and Thorgrin made it in here.
Yeah.
Blinken stayed outside.
Yeah.
So all the way around this snowy courtyard that you see here, all the way around this wall border, there is a shimmering blue force field that you cannot get past. The way that you got past it last time is you cast, what was it? Dimension Door to get past it? Misty Step. You've had a scroll of Misty Step that allowed you to step past it. So what do you do now?
Well, we have to, look for Schemo. Does this gate look like it's open, or?
No. You have to find some way to get past the magical barrier.
Okay.
Even-
Made one of those fancy scrolls last time, Blinken. Huh?
Yeah. Even the Doom Raiders have to use some kind of magic to get by.
All right. Well, I look at Hill. I don't. I could do pass without a trace. I don't know if that's going to do anything.
No.
Well,
You could also go buy a scroll.
buy a scroll. Okay. Well, that's another option. Hill, you don't have any other magic. We're going to have to buy a scroll, and I feel like that's going to be expensive.
Just looking at the wall. I mean, I don't know. I'm pretty stumped.
Can I pull out one of those flying paper things and just send a message to Schemo, see if that works?
Yeah, you absolutely could.
All right, I'm gonna write down a message for Schemo and be like, "Let us in."
Okay. I assume you sign it with your name.
Yeah, I'll put in my name and let him know we're here.
Okay. You write that on a piece of paper. You hold it out. You say Schemo's name. The paper folds up into the shape of an origami bird and flies off up towards the top of the tower and flies through the barrier. Paper birds seem to be immune to the or exempted from this magical barrier. A few minutes later, from the rooftop over here, you see Schemo poke his head over and go, "Guys, what are you doing?"
We have to talk.
This is about 5 floors up, actually. He's like, okay, all right. Hey, watch out. I'm going to use the teleportation circle and I'm going to appear right next to you, okay?
Okay.
So he disappears, and a few moments later, or a few minutes later, you hear a thin hiss and then a pop sound, the sound of someone teleporting. And Schema Weirdbottle appears right beside you, and he is holding in one hand a giant chest. He says, "Oh, guys, we had so many magical weapons. Oh boy, I've been trying to get them all. Lost track of a few of them. Found them under Dabble's bed. Not where you should keep a burning sword, in my opinion, but whatever. They're all locked safe and sound in here." And he taps that chest.
Okay. Well, that's cool. That's good that you got him. Listen, we kind of have to like talk a bit here. Talk about strategy, what's going on with the family, all that stuff.
He goes, yeah, we got to do something about that artificer lady before she frames my friends and gets them all executed. Do you know who the judge in the trial is going to be?
Jesus, and who?
Her name is just Judge, okay? She doesn't have any eyes. She wears a band around her eyes. They got gouged out at some point. She carries a hammer of justice. She carries out her execution sentences herself.
Wow. I think Judge Dredd.
Yeah.
They took her eyes. That's
Lady Justice is blind.
Okay. Yeah, that's true. So I'm like telling Skill, listen, it's kind of hard to convince the others, but like, I'm just wondering, like, what makes you, I don't know, feel kind of trustworthy that your guys there are, good, because I've been seeing some like those fanboys, for instance, they've been kind of crazy, like literally crazy over the Doom Raiders there.
Look, man, we don't have any control over our fans, okay? You think we like the fans that stalk us, that learn every detail they can about our personal life, that try to sneak into our bar when I'm drunk and asleep on the floor? No, I don't like that. They're always freaks and creeps, okay? You can't be famous for as long as we've been famous, okay? It messes with people's minds. There's some people that have been fans of us because they heard us play a show when they were babies.
Okay, yeah, that's kind of crazy. I get it, yeah, because the problem is the others, we were still trying to I'm trying to convince them to help you and the Doom Raiders, of course, and the whole people are just concerned because they seem like after dealing with these fanboys that they see randomly, it's they seem to have this evil intent, and I'm like, I mean, that could be just for the fans, but the others are just kind of convinced they seem to be having this evil tendency to do whatever they want to do as your group. So I mean, are you sure they are? I mean, I know you all have that weird emo phase, whatever, where I'm hip, I'm bad, and all that stuff. But are you sure? Okay, well, are you are you sure that they actually are the air quotes bad, or are they actual bad? That's the thing. I mean, I like I said, it could be just some magic spell or something. But are you convinced that at least one of your bandmates are kind of not that evil?
A lot of things happen there, Blinken. First off, deception check with disadvantage.
Okay.
Because you first said, I'm trying to convince everybody to help you guys.
Right.
DC 12. Hey, nice. He kind of looks you up and down and says, what are you trying to say? That our fans are going to hurt somebody? Like, I know our shows can get rowdy in the mosh, but like you're talking like something bad's going to happen.
Kind of, sort of, like, we've encountered one crazy fan already, and then, granted, yeah, they could be one of those loony guys, but like, it seemed like, I don't know if that something came from within that came out. I don't know if that's like one of your songs or whatever, but it's, some spirit came out of his mouth and started attacking us. It's pretty crazy.
Says, what? No one has the power to control a live soul in our group. We're not necromancers. Davil can speak to the spirits in the afterlife, but just in the afterlife.
Hmm.
He said,
Right. Yeah,
Heal.
'cause it was weird.
Yeah, he says, Heal, what
Yeah.
about you? What do you think? I need to fucking
You'll
do his
see-
voice.
Again, he's like confused. He's looks like his head's off somewhere else. He's like, I was there that day at the court. When they tried to pick everybody up and slam them on the ground. You think they got your best interests in their mind?
He says, yeah, that's why they did it. Look, guys, we've never had anybody except for us. I need to do his voice. Look, guys, we've never had anybody except for us. It's just been our family for so long. I remember once we were in Phandalin. This was back when me and Davil were really young, and Zaraj, gods, she was just a baby. But we went down there to play one of our first shows. It was one of the first tavern gigs we got. And we found out that the tavern keepers, this woman, her husband had been kidnapped by this group called the Red Brands, and they were holed up in an old farmhouse with a few of the other villagers that were being held hostage for ransom. So we thought that we would go and help. Froggy tried to talk us out of it, but me and Davil really wanted to, and Froggy, and he kind of looks down at the dirt, at the snow, and he says, Froggy always had a soft spot for people that couldn't help themselves. So we went there, right? And we tried to sneak everybody out, but Istrid went and grabbed a bunch of gold that set off an alarm. The Red Brands found us, and I cast Fireball for the first time, just to kill all these Red Brands. But it set the whole farmhouse on fire. It burned down with everyone inside of it. The tavern keeper's husband, the farmers, and all the Red Brands. And I felt horrible about it. I felt awful about it. And Froggy told me that as long as our family was safe, that was better than nothing. And Davil told me, and he drops that nostalgic look, and he kind of realizes what he's saying as he says it. Davil told me that family is really all that matters. And he says, oh, they would do anything to get out of jail scot-free. Oh, no.
This is exactly what I'm saying. And Blinken kind of rubs his chin and, kind of looks at Huel and goes looking back at Schemo saying, listen, this family talk, I get it, but from what you're saying, and I think you're seeing the bigger picture here, it sounds like it's more, and I look at Huel again and look back at Schemo and do air quotes, finger quotes saying, culty, and I kind of say it kind of gingerly when I say culty. So, look, again, me, Huel, the rest of the gang, yeah, we're sort of family, but we have different beliefs, different things, of course. But what you're just saying right there is that they're literally going to do whatever it takes to do what's good for the family. And I get it, but there has to be some boundaries on that. I see you as a good person. I mean, from our interactions and stuff. I mean, you told us a bunch of uh, good details about what you've done and all that. I get it. It's just I'm just kind of trying to think logically here. That's all there is to it. That's what I am. I'm a logical thinker. I get it. And the bigger thing to convince, obviously, is if we're trying to get your friends out of this position, so to speak, the big thing is the artificer. How are we going to deal with her? And that's what's causing the big fucking argument and trying to convince people here and there what to do. So I mean, if you make a good case, fine, but you have to look at the bigger picture here.
What am I supposed to do, Blinken? Not defend my family? Say whatever you want about them. They'd never betray me.
I mean, I don't know your family, sure, but like, are you sure about that?
He says, yes, to my core. We love each other. You say that you and your friends, and I got nothing against a good friend group or family. No, you're not. We've been together since I was 6. Okay? My parents kicked me out of the Underdark. Davil never even knew his family. Okay? He was really young when we first met, but that's still 50 years old as an elf. 50 years by himself. Istrid was just a street rat like us that we found, and Zaraj was abandoned in an alleyway, screaming and yelling. We are family. We have actually been there for each other since as early as we can remember.
Have you done anything that would be the betterment of the family, as in, I don't know if you probably did personally, but maybe like, because these fans are crazy. I know you don't control them or whatever, but like it's.
He says, look, I'm about to go to the jail. I'll ask them if they're riling up the fans. Sometimes a good counter protest outside can swing a judge or a jury in your favor, right?
Right.
I'll see if they're asking someone to rile up fans or something. Did that fanboy tell you anything else? And was he really a friend of ours if he defaced Froggy's portrait?
I mean, that's to be seen. That I don't know if that's true or not. We need to look into that, honestly. But and we'll have to investigate a little bit further on that.
Okay. He says, "Look, I'm about to go."
Doesn't know that. Yeah.
You do. Well, no, I guess Thorgrin didn't tell you.
No, because Thorgrin was the one that, was saying the story, and Blanket doesn't believe shit what Thorgrin says.
Yeah, but you don't know it's false. Okay, that's good. That's perfect.
Yeah.
He says, "Look, I'm gonna go to the jail, disguise myself as our lawyer. We gotta prep them before the jury selection later today. Okay, so I'll have an answer by the time we come back. And if my family's doing something dangerous, I'll help shut it down. Okay."
Okay.
All right.
All right. Just let me know if you need help or anything like that.
I know that you can trust me, Blinken, and I really hope that I can trust you guys.
Yeah. That's what I'm trying to make sure we establish is, trying to make sure, things don't go out of hand. So, like I said, if you need any help, just send me a, message.
He says, okay. Yeah, you got it, man. I'm going to go put all these magical adventure weapons in our bank vault. And then I'll make my way to the end prison and pick them up.
Okay.
Okay, I guess, will you be there at the trial with something to stop the artificer?
I'll try to look for something, but yeah, I'll also, we'll see what we can do.
Also, you brought up what we're supposed to do about the artificer. I've made my opinion clear. I'm not going to say it again in front of Huel.
Well, I get it, yeah.
Yeah, y'all stopped us from solving the artificers, and now that's your problem.
Okay.
Okay, all right. Best of luck to you guys. Stay warm out here. And he walks off through the snow, carrying that big chest. And as he's walking off, a paper bird descends and begins flying around his head. He reaches out in the air, picks it up, picks it out of the air, unfolds it, and stops walking. He reads it again, and then he turns back and he looks at you guys, and he begins walking off again. carrying that chest.
Okay.
All right. Next up is Inchi going down to the Thieves Guild.
It's wet duck.
It's wet dark down here. It is only for a while until you start finding the stones that illuminate the path to the Thieves Guild. You eventually reach the big spiraling staircase that takes you all the way down into the Thieves Guild proper. You exit the spiraling staircase into the Hall of Statues, where every other tile there is a life-size statue of someone that Xanathar the Beholder is petrified. Over here on the left side, there's a secret door along with a secret skying eye. To your south, there's the promenade where Flutterfoot entertains, and the audience chamber that has Xanathar and Nilhor. There's also the fighting pits down here. Inchi, what would you like to do?
Is Jack around?
Kickin' John?
Yeah, well, yeah, John.
Kickin' John is usually at the fighting pits placing bets.
And I am heading to the fighting pits.
All right, you head down to the promenade. Flutterfoot is there sleeping against one of the statues. You know that if Xanathar catches him asleep on the job, he's liable to get petrified. What do you do?
Sorry, can you repeat that? I was texting someone.
Flutterfoot, the jester goblin, is down here sleeping against one of the statues. You know that he is on thin ice with Xanathar because he's not very good at being a jester. If Xanathar were to catch him sleeping on the job, he'd probably get petrified. What do you do?
I scared the piss out of him last time, so it feels right to do it this time as I cast a major image of Xanathar just right in front of him.
Perfect.
I'll even make the pop sound. The pop.
Ooh, excellent. So appearing with a thin is image of Xanathar the Beholder right in front of Flutterfoot, and that faint little pop triggers the panic in Flutterfoot, and he wakes up and he goes, boss, would you like to see me juggle 3 skulls? And he pulls 3 skulls out of his backpack and he tries to juggle them, and he is going to roll a dexterity check. Ooh, and he drops 2 of the skulls and they shatter on the floor. He says, but would you like to see me do this? And he starts like moving the skull like a fushigi ball around his hands. And Inchi, you continue making your way to the fighting pit. You come out into the fighting pit and the pit of blood and fortune, and uncommon to its name, there is not a fight going on right now, but Kickin' John is surrounded by bandits and bugbears and orcs, who all make up Xanathar's monster army. And Kickin' John is saying, place your bets here. We're doing the pre-opening for the Afterlife Casino. Go on, place a bet on anything, everything. Is it going to rain tomorrow? Is it not going to snow tomorrow? Make your choice. Who gets petrified next? Oh, the odds are looking good on Flutterfoot, but if you take the under, the payout's big. Place your bets for the Afterlife Casino. What do you do, Itchy?
Guys, look at Flutterfoot over there.
They all race out. A few of them come back and say, Kick it, John, I want to cancel my bet. He's going to get petrified so fucking fast. And Kickin' John says, the Afterlife Casino doesn't do takesies backsies. We only do gold coins and tabaxies. Inchi, buddy, what are you doing?
I just came to see the boss man. Well, not the boss man, but Nilhor.
How
you doing,
the
John?
junior boss man. He says, I'm doing good.
Yeah,
I don't know if
Junior.
I don't know if you know this, but Xanathar got me a new weathered leather coat. This one doesn't reek of the sewers so bad. Apparently, I'm going to be taking bets for the Afterlife Casino. He wants me patrolling the city up there and taking bets on anything and everything, and people can come get their payout at the Afterlife Casino. It's a great way to get pre-business going. Inchi, would you like to place a bet? Is it going to snow tomorrow? Is it going to hail tomorrow? Will the walking statues come to life sometime this year? What's your prediction on the Doom Raiders verdict?
Is that jacket a long sleeve or a short sleeve?
He says, it's long sleeve. Xanathar thinks me not having arms would scare off some people, so I'm supposed to act like I got them. He goes, look, if I jump a little bit, it looks like I got arms. And the coat arms like flap out as he jumps.
I don't think it looks like people arms, but it gets my attention and makes me want to go to you and buy you something. And I think that is smart that he encouraged this.
He goes, yeah, he's real smart. Hey, the Doom Raiders trial is really hot right now, huh? Innocent, guilty life in prison, guilty execution. What you placing a bet on?
Well, hold on. If you like did the bouncy thing with your whole body while doing it with the arms, you could look like you're ready to sell a bunch of wagons. I think that's good enough for that. Just be all spindly with your body and with the arms. You should try it sometime.
He says, "Oh, you know what could get me the energy to bounce around like that? If you place a bet, I got a quota to meet. Help me out here, man."
You drive a hard bargain, John. I think the Doom Raiders are going to coming out on top. They will not see their doom.
Coming out on top. That's a 45% chance. Coming out innocent. Gonna put you down for that, Inchy. How much you betting? You can bet any amount you got.
You take silver.
He goes, gold pieces only, buddy.
She gives him a gold. Then that.
He says, "Hey, I'm not judged by the quantity of coin. I'm judged by the quantity of bets. So thank you very much, Inchy. Let's see, that's 45% for innocent, 45% guilty life in prison, and 10% execution. Only 2 people have placed bets on that. It's really weird.
Who voted for execution?
A few people. That City Watch lady that's in here all the time, she voted for it, placed a bet on it. A lot of gold on that one. And then Redbeard the bandit over there, he thinks there's going to be execution, but he just always wants blood. You know, Redbeard.
So Art Girl will financially benefit if the Doom Raiders are executed.
Yeah, that's how betting works.
It's interesting. All right. All right. Well, good luck with your thing you got going on. Nice jacket.
He says, "Thank you, thank you very much." And using like his toes, he picks up a pen and writes your name and 1 gold coin in the betting book. If the Doom Raiders get off scot-free, you can come back and collect your reward.
Nice.
All right, going down here as you exit the promenade, the magic mirror image of Xanathar fades out of existence, and Flutterfoot goes, "Oh boy, Flutterfoot, you live another day. Oh boy." Okay, Inchy, you head into the audience chamber, and there is Nilhor and Xanathar. They are clearly talking to each other because Nilhor is gesticulating and Xanathar's focused dead on Nilhor. But you can't hear anything they're saying because they are having a psychic conversation. As always, when Xanathar is in the Thieves Guild...
And she has the telepathic feat. Could I try listening in?
If you could send me what that feat is and let me read it real quick.
Got you.
Inchy, as always, Xanathar has his pet goldfish with him, floating in a big bowl that is never more than 5 feet away from Xanathar. It floats in the air, telepathically held by Xanathar. Silgar is how you pronounce that.
That's the fish?
Yeah, Silgar.
I thought you said Stilgar.
I probably mispronounced it.
Stilgar's a character from Dune.
Okay.
Okay. I can speak directly into the mind of a creature, but the telepathic feat also gives me cast detect thoughts once per day.
Okay.
Do I use it? Yeah, I'll use it. Fuck it.
Let me look at those rules real quick.
Thoughts.
For the duration, you can read the thoughts of creatures. Okay, so you can read the surface level thoughts of these creatures. If you try to probe deeper into their mind, there's a risk of them finding out. Okay, and just let me look up mind flayers and see if their thoughts can be read.
Okay.
Nope, it has no protection against that. So, Inchi, you are able to cast this, and at surface level, it's risk-free. You can see what's on the surface level of these creatures' minds. First, you try to cast it on Nilhor, and Nilhor says, "The preparations for the casino go well, Master Xanathar. The Three Dragon Anti-Tournament, we are lining up participants for it as we speak. The construction will be completed by the end of the fortnight. We are stationing guards and preparing various members of the Thieves Guild to take up staffing positions. The lords and ladies that are holdouts on all the permitting will be taken care of once Growlhound is inaugurated. All others have already been convinced and or bribed." And then, Inchi, you try to shift your thoughts over to Xanathar to see what Xanathar is thinking. But as soon as you do, your spell ends. And one of these rings that Xanathar has around some of his tentacles glints in your eye. This is a ring of mind shielding that prevents Xanathar's mind from being observed.
All right. Well, after that, and she then speaks directly into Nilhor's mind, or the both of them, if I can.
Okay.
Just join in on the telepathic conversation.
Okay. What do you say?
In their minds, I just go, "Hi, is this thing on?"
They both
Hello?
kind of look around at you with a little bit of amusement, and Xanathar projects into your mind while breathing heavily and drooling slightly. Says, "Inchi, it is." Why is it? Hold up, just a second. "Inchi, buddy, it's good to see you. I had no idea that you could project thoughts into people's minds. You're getting bigger and stronger every day, my boy. That's the attitude of a lieutenant. I'm really glad you signed up for the blood tournament. You're gonna do great, Inchi. I know you're gonna do great. You're gonna be and he makes this very weird thing to see a beholder do. He kind of kisses the air. He says, "You're gonna be beautiful."
I learned from the best, sir. Gonna win it soon.
He says,
Yeah.
"Nilhor, he's gonna be coming for your job talking like that." And Nilhor says, "I highly doubt that."
I don't mean to replace you, Nilhor. I'll be Nilhor's Nilhor, you know?
He says, "I would appreciate that. I am surrounded by fools and brigands.
Well, I'm a goblin, so
says-
I'm not neither of those, so
My
I
current
got you.
my current assistant Art, the Nothic, and Thorvin, our dwarven engineer, are both fools, and I see doubt in their minds. Inchi, you have always believed in the power of the Thieves Guild, and I would respect that."
Yeah. And because of the respect I have for the guild and that the power you got through your noble Growlhound guy, I was curious if you had any input on the Doom Guy trial.
"The Doom Raider trial," says Nilhor. "It should be most entertaining. I hear that the Artificer's bringing a particularly aggressive case against them this time. I would like to see how their lawyer wiggles out of that. I might have Groundhound stop by the trial to observe." And Xanathar says, I never really liked those Doom Raider guys. They always cause a lot of trouble. Unpredictable in a way that I don't appreciate."
Unpredictable is a good way to get the human folk distracted. All those nobles up there.
He says, "Your thoughts are in the right direction, Insi, but you're going down the wrong road. See, unpredictable also makes you uncontrollable. And I just love something that I can control. I detest something that I can't control. Inchi, you got a light for me?" And he telepathically makes a cigar float out from behind his back. You don't know where he pulls these from, but he always has one.
With an instinctual flick of his wrist, he just casts create bonfire right in front of his boss.
Xanathar makes the cigar float down and light it, and then he makes it float back up to his mouth where he takes a big puff on it. And as he's doing so, he says, "Inchi, you seem like you came down here with a problem, or that you need something. Whatever it is, my boy, just spit it out."
I think we need the Doom guys. I think we need to get them out.
He says, "And for what reason would I do such a thing?"
I think they are pretty good at their jobs by causing trouble for the higher ups up on the streets where they already are. I've been working closely with one of them, and I have reason to believe we can control them more than the noble system up there.
Xanathar says, "You know, Inchi, I've always wanted to get into the music business. Never really been able to get it off the ground. My mind's been distracted with other things. But oh, if I could start up a guild house that controls all the bards in the city, and thereby controls all the music ever produced in the city, oh, that would be beautifully beneficial to our portfolio." Says, getting someone like the Doom Raiders as my first sign-on, that would be pretty good. But they're very independent. They used to be pretty strong back in the day. I don't know if they'd sign over all their rights to me just to help them get out of prison.
I think there could be some cooperation if you claim you can help their friend Froggy. Is it Foggy?
Froggy.
I think it's Frog.
Froggy.
Oh, and she just didn't care to say. I know it's Froggy.
Okay, just for the record, he's the one that died about 10 years ago.
Yep.
He sold his soul to the salesman so that everybody else could get their health and magic back during a big fight. They can't revive him through normal methods because the avatar of Asmodeus has direct control over his soul. The only way to get him back is to give the salesman 50% of the Vault of Dragons.
But a beholder claiming he might have some workaround with that has some reasonable doubt.
Yeah,
Maybe.
if you want to try it. I just wanted to refresh you on the lore. And Xanathar says, "Oh yeah, Froggy Weirdbottom. Froggy put on a good show, wrote a bunch of good songs. Heard he passed about 10 years ago fighting Manchun and that brat Victoro Castellanta."
Oh yeah, gave his soul to Asmodeus and everything.
Xanathar spits out the smoke that he was inhaling, and even Nilhor takes a step back and says, "Sold his soul to Asmodeus? Inchi, how could you possibly know that?"
Oh
And
yeah,
Inchi, you seem to have told them something they were not aware of.
Asmodeus been causing me problems. He's not a nice guy.
He says, "Yeah, as the Lord of the Hells and all destruction and evil in the Nine Planes. Yeah, he's a bad guy. Inchi, do you know Asmodeus?"
Yeah, and I don't know, he's worse than the other lords in this city.
He just says yes.
He's a cool dude.
He goes, "Gods below. No, fuck the gods below. Gods above. Avi, get your ass down here." And without the little hiss and pop, another person teleports into this room. With no hiss and pop, it seems that his magic works a little bit differently.
You got that thing?
Appearing in the very middle of the room is the used cart salesman himself, Avitar, the avatar of Asmodeus, who Victoro Castellanter repeatedly called a half-god, a deformed god. And Xanathar says, "Hey, Avi, I thought that we had an agreement that you wouldn't be going and making any deals with members of my Thieves Guild crew." And the avatar says, Xanathar, calm down. You always react so much." And he turns over to you, Inchi, and he points at Xanathar. "Can you believe this guy? So dramatic all the time. I haven't made a single deal with Inchi. He's been very stubborn about it."
Well, you keep making deals with my mother.
He says,
That's like a package deal right there.
Xanathar again blows out a big thing of smoke, and Nilhor takes a step back. And Avitar says, "Your mother is just as stubborn and beautiful as you, and she really is an independent woman in a way that I kind of like."
I don't do that. He's making deals and talking about my mother. Xanathar, do something.
I'd much rather make love to her.
No.
It's just mind sliver, fucker.
Inchi, you start to do that, and Avitar holds up one finger in your direction in a "wait, the adults are talking" motion. Roll a wisdom save. Or
Alright.
a wisdom check.
Wisdom.
Oh no, he has to actually say it. He holds up a finger and says, "Don't do that, Inchi. The adults are talking."
Is that just a wisdom check or saving throw?
This would be a saving throw. My bad. With
12.
With that, Inchi, in the middle of you summoning your magic, you stop. You halt. Avitar seems to be able to do this to anyone he wants. He even did it to Xanathar once in the basement of El Tortral Academy. And Xanathar says, "Look, Avi, we got a good thing going here. I know I don't give you everything that you want, but you've come out with a pretty pile of gold for yourself. And the payments for the casino, they're on their way as soon as the casino opens and the Three Dragon Anti-Tournament happens. Why are you mucking around in my business? Why are you fucking around with low-rent bods like the Doom Raiders?" And Avitar says,
Wait. Your casino money is going to Asmodee?
he says, "Yeah, me and Asmodeus go way back. He funds a lot of the things that happens here in the Thieves Guild, and then he always makes his money back."
Well, yeah, you told me that down at the Castellators whenever I saved you, but I just don't like dealing with Asmodee, and he's just everywhere. He's getting everywhere and making deals with everybody.
Inchi, if you got a criticism for me, you will save it until the company has left. Have I made myself clear?
Well, no, it's not. I'm not criticizing you, sir. And she like bows a little out of panic. No, no, we don't need Asmodee. Yes, sir.
You're, and Avitar holds up his hands and goes, boys, don't fight over me. I love it. Gosh, stop. He says, "Look, I make deals with whoever wants things. It is the want that attracts me. Enabling the want and the getting and the wanting more is what I do. And the Doom Raiders have always wanted full bellies and a safe family. And so I deal with them."
I want you to stop.
Would you like to make a deal for that?
No.
Okay.
Damn it.
He says, "The Doom Raiders are willing to deal, because they have something to put up, I guess. But, Xanathar, this doesn't conflict with any of the contracts we've made. Why are you upset?" And Xanathar says, "Maybe I just wanted to bring you down here so I could tell you that you're a stupid prick loser." And Avitar says, "And anything else, my boy?" And Xanathar says, "Piss off." And Avitar says, "Please don't waste my time like that. It's a lot of effort to move your plane to me so that I can talk to you." And then he moves the planes and disappears.
She kicks a rock and pouts.
So Xanathar says, "Inchi, look, if he's involved with it, if he's involved in it, I really can't be getting involved myself. Unless the Doom Raiders attack me and break that contract, I can't interfere with what Avi's doing. You know, I get a pretty good deal from Avi. He doesn't get any of my soul. He doesn't even get a controlling stake in anything. He just gets a return on his investment. You can do that with a creature like him when you're as powerful as me. But you should stay away from him. And it seems like you're doing that. And I'm proud of you. You don't need him."
Mr. Sir, I was more suggesting that you just tell the Doom Raiders that you maybe can bring back Froggy, but you don't got to. It's just something to help get them on board. They're powerful allies, and times are changing quick.
He says, if Froggy Weirdbottom's soul belongs to the salesman, I can't do anything for you, Inchi. Not with all my magic, not with all my gold. I'm sorry.
I'm not saying bring it back. Yeah, I'm just saying you lie.
Oh, okay. He says, "But I can't interfere."
Is lying interfering?
He said it would depend on the exact deal that Avi made with them.
I don't know. I thought they just took his soul.
Those weaklings probably did offer up their soul as collateral.
Yeah, I mean, there's a soul, and the rest of them got like stronger and like killed people, I think.
He says, "Look, Avi's not going to tell you what the terms of his deal with anybody else are. If you want to figure out what the terms of his deal are, you'd have to get it from the Doom Raiders themselves. And if it turns out that me getting them out of jail doesn't interfere with anything they've agreed to with the Avitar, I'd be happy to extend them an offer of a record deal. You know, maybe we could get them back on tour, fund it for them, for 90% of the profits."
well, call that Avi guy back in here. I'll just ask him.
He says, "You do it now."
Avi, Avi, and she's waving his arms in the air. Avi.
Just a second. And she, from right behind you, you hear, "Yes."
Yeah, you. Do you care if I get the Doom Raiders out of jail?
He says, "Unfortunately, yeah, I'm kind of working on that myself."
What? Why?
Because they offered me something for it. They wanted something, I wanted something, and we came to a mutual understanding. My greed and their greed came together, made a deal, and they're going to do wonderful, incredible, great, greedy things with it.
Who wanted something?
All of them. All 3 that are in jail.
But I don't see why it would break any deal of yours if I let them. They let them out of jail. Did they make another deal while they were in jail?
Okay, let me think about this. He goes, "Inchi, you're very rude. You're very disrespectful, but in a way, I respect that. You think that you don't need me. You think that you want for nothing, but as we're seeing here, it's simply not true. Most of the deals I make are for information, and I usually never tell people the details of the deals I've made. But gosh, you're such a holdout that I'll make an exception for you. Inchi, give me 10% of your cut of the Vault of Dragons, and I'll tell you if I made a deal with the Doom Raiders."
I already said to you no deal. I keep saying no deal,
And here you
keep
are
bringing
asking me for
deal.
things.
And it's just deals with you.
Yes,
I-
Inchi, that's what I am. I am want. I am
what
desire.
you are sucks.
I am connection. You cannot avoid me forever.
Be a goblin for once. You've seen the village. You see how happy we are, and I don't think all your deals is worth nothing. You're making deals with everyone, and that means you got nothing because it's all the same to you every single time I see you.
He turns around and with a little blur of motion, he becomes that goblin form that he approached you in the first time he talked to you. So he looks like a goblin, but he's still got that purple suit. And he pulls out this ruby red pipe and he flicks his fingers. Flame appears on his index finger and he lights some tobacco with it. And he says, "Oh, your friend Huel actually gave me some of this tobacco. It's really quite good." He says,
it actually is good.
"It's really great. Would you like some?"
I don't got nothing on me, and I don't.
He says,
I don't want to share yours.
"Oh, a puff is free."
I don't want to share yours.
Fine. He says, "Inchi, my brothers and sisters before they were locked away walked all over this plane, made deals and secured contracts and did things for all kinds of people of all different races, including goblins. I love goblins. They're great people, and they love me. They love me so much. They're really easy to please, too. So I don't know what you're talking about. I know all of you. Every single thing that lives and breathes wants and needs, and wherever there's want and need, I am there as well."
I'm going to get Schimo's friends out of jail.
He says, "They're probably going to get themselves out of jail if you give them a minute."
Oh. I think there's been a misunderstanding. All right. I don't like you still, but yeah, I mean, if they're going to get out, all right.
He
Do you
puts
need
his, he says, "Well, I'd really love 10% of the Vault of Dragons from you
Well,
specifically."
no, I'm not going to make a deal with you.
Okay.
David, I offered you a favor, and then you go a mile.
He
All
says,
right, I don't need you.
He says, "I wasn't kidding. It really is a lot of work to move the planes around." And once again, he just shifts out of existence.
All right. Well, it's good seeing you, Xanathar, Nahor, sirs.
He says, "Inchi, you remind me so much of myself. Oh, I could kiss you."
I'm gonna go.
"I would also like to give you a kiss, Inchi." And Xanathar wiggles his tentacles at you.
Out.
Okay. So Inchi, are you going to leave the Thieves Guild?
Yeah. Itchy's just waving by. Oh wait, hold on. Is there a shopkeep down there that I've talked to before?
There is the quartermaster, Amargo, whose job is giving things to people in the Thieves Guild. He is currently over here. He's who gave you your first dagger when you got out of jail. So if you would need, he doesn't charge you for it. You get it as part of being a member of the Thieves Guild.
And she walks up to him. Hey, you. I forgot your name.
It's a Margot, and she. Come on, man.
I don't get down here enough. I know.
He says you certainly don't, but you made a name for yourself.
Yeah, it's not as long as a Margot, and she's still a name around here.
He says, certainly. And she, can I help you out with something? I'm kind of busy talking to the new security. And he points over at that drow gunslinger.
I was just coming to say hi. You got anything for me? Like, I don't know, bite for the road?
He says, oh, yeah, there's a kitchen. Where is the kitchen? Is it up or down? Just a second. Because there is a kitchen here.
I've never seen it.
Yeah, you haven't done much exploring.
No.
He says,
well, I tried to run down that hall, but y'all stopped me.
He says he actually gives you directions to that hall. If you walk across the audience chamber again and come to this staircase right here, that'll take you to the kitchen.
Okay. And she's going to head to that kitchen.
All right, so you walk out of the Pit of Blood and Fortune. You walk past Nilhor and Xanathar again as they're telepathically talking to each other, and Xanathar smokes on his cigar. You walk over here to this long hallway. There's a bandit guard right here. You also know, because of, I believe, no, you shouldn't know that that's there. I gotta hide that. So you walk up these stairs right here. Let me reveal this area. Okay, and Inchi, you walk up these stairs. You don't really know how big the Thieves Guild is because you have not explored it. Oh no, wait, I'm sorry. These go downstairs. My bad. So down, and then you come out up here. And what you see is a big table that has a bunch of bandits sitting at it, eating a meal that looks like brown and gray gruel. There's a bugbear down here. There's even 2 goblins that have orange skin down here, and another drow gunslinger sitting at the table. And as you come down, a few of these bandits recognize you, and they go, "Inchi, how you doing? Come get your grub for the day."
Hi, hello. I'm Inchi. It's food any good?
It says it's grub. It's warm. I've had worse.
What's in the grub?
You don't ever ask that down here, Inchi. Don't ever ask that question again, mate.
Would you put it in a soup?
He says, I think it technically is a soup. And he
he
shows you his plate that has a bunch of runny gray and brown gruel on it. He says, go back to the kitchen back there. And he points you down and to the right.
And she grumbles under his breath. It's not soup. And she goes to get him some grub.
Okay. And you bring a bowl, or you come down here to the kitchen where there's a human man who is running a runny nose along his arm as he grabs a knife and starts cutting up some vegetables and throwing them into a pot with a bunch of meat. And he says, "Oh yeah, you want your grill? Get on over here. Come on.
Why they let a human down here?
He says, "Because
I'm
I'm
a slave."
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
That's fine.
You hit the nail right on the head there, buddy.
All right, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, give me food, slave.
Okay, Inchi, while you're down here and he's filling up your bowl, and he says, of course, sure thing, master. And he gives you a bowl of gruel, and you notice that one of his legs is actually chained to the table here in the corner, so he cannot leave this kitchen. But no one's watching him, and he has access to knives and stuff. You assume that he probably pissed off someone and is now down here cooking forever. And as you look around, you can see this big hallway over here to your right that ends and splits off to its right and left. There's also a doorway right here. And then to your north, you can see that this man in the kitchen does not work alone. There are about 6 kobolds up here prepping other food. They must be getting ready for dinner tonight. They are watched over by 2 gazers, which are 2 very small beholders.
And she, seeing that the chef is chained to the table, he moves over to the other side of him right here. And he goes, I've always wanted to try this spell with the guy that can't get away. And
he goes, what?
He puts his hand on him and casts fear.
Oh, God. What does he need to roll?
Let me check that.
fear. He's got to roll a wisdom saving throw.
Yep.
Yep. What does he got to beat?
He's
12.
got to beat 15.
15. With that, you see that he sees a mental image of Xanathar the Beholder bearing down on him, snarling, drooling, his mouth open, showing rows and rows of razor-sharp teeth. And he immediately tries to like run as fast as he can out of here, and then the chain catches and he trips and falls, and he tries to like crawl away, like drawing blood from his fingernails as he's trying to pull himself against this chain. And then all the kobolds up here start laughing at him.
Thanks for the food, Hume. Goodbye.
He goes,
And,
don't eat me.
Get a load of this guy.
Yeah, you go back to the bandit table and they all have a laugh about it too. Inchi, you want to chill down here for a minute while you eat your food?
I mean, sure.
All right. Yeah, you sit there and you revel with your fellow bandits and bugbears and goblins. Going back to the top of the order, it is EB's turn.
All right.
EB.
Oh, good. Sorry.
You, Elzerna, and the goblin that you want to be a juror, get off of your rickshaw over here in the sea ward of Waterdeep. You are almost all the way on the edge of Waterdeep. You are against this great big cliff right here that is one of the reasons that Waterdeep is such a great city. It is protected from the sea winds and the sea ice and the sea storms. And then Waterdeep itself, if you zoom out, is kind of on this plateau. That makes it a very defensible position. One of the reasons the city was able to get so big and grand. And standing before you is the great Blackstaff Tower.
I forget, is there a mountain next to the city?
There is, down here, there is Mount Waterdeep. At the very perch of it is a walking statue of a griffin.
Okay. For some reason I thought it was bigger in a different spot, but anyway.
Yeah. Okay, so Blackstaff Tower reaches up into the air hundreds of feet. It is a strange metal tower. It's not made of blocks stacked upon blocks. It is metal that has been shaped and formed through magic. It has these archways on the bottom 3 floors that make it look like a giant weird insect jutting out from the city. And as it goes up and up and up, it isn't one single piece of metal. It is a giant spiral that has this carved out spiral going all the way up it. There seem to be magical instruments sticking out from it that catch the wind and fuel some kind of magical turbine. And then up on the very top, there are a few lookout towers. All around the Blackstaff Tower, there are members of the City Watch, including members of the Griffin Cavalry, keeping patrol, coming off of patrol, getting ready for their patrol, all sorts of things. Citizens also filter in and out because this is where they would handle their official business. With Force Grey, with the City Watch law enforcement. City Hall is the Palace of Waterdeep down here. So as you approach with Elzerna, a young human woman of about 8 years old who has dyed her hair pink. It was blue the first time you met her, and the goblin wearing some nice workers' clothes and brand new shoes. You approach one of the guards at the entrance to Blackstaff Tower, and they say, "Hello, sir. How can I help you today?"
Oh, drat. So, would I know the basis of
the law
guess,
in Waterdeep?
Yeah, and like why? I guess why like a goblin would be going into Blackstaff Tower for jury duty.
You would say that he was summoned. You know, I'm kind of. It's our legal system, but fantasy. Just because that makes it understandable. So you could just say he's reporting for jury duty.
All right. So I tell the porter.
Do you have your official summons, sir?
Let me see. And I look at the goblin and I say, show him the summons.
The goblin looks at you and like shrugs and says, yeah, let me find it here in my pockets. And he like mimics looking through his pockets, but you and him both know he's not going to find anything.
I turn back to the porter and I make a quick but somewhat of a stink, being like, "I'm so sorry. We misplaced it. We'll go find it and be right back."
He says, "Of course, sir."
And I'll walk away with Elzerna and the Goblin. I'll go off somewhere, and I'm gonna try and forge a document.
Yeah, you can step right over here to the market. There would be a place that sells paper that looks like it's of good quality. And as a mastermind, you would be able to forge a document, right? That's one of your things.
It is one of my criminal backgrounds.
Ooh, very nice.
Yeah. Let me see. Let me look at my skills. Forgery. Well, it's not like a typical skill, but it's something.
Yeah,
think
look
about
at it. Look at it real quick and post it in chat. I'm going to go use the bathroom.
Okay. Come on, get down. Get down. Get down.
I'm back.
Oh boy, oh boy. My cat might accidentally turn off my computer. She keeps jumping up on stuff. So
That would be very funny.
she did that to me yesterday. She literally hopped up on my tower and landed on the button, and my computer shut off.
Cats are evil like that. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So there's a link to a forgery kit on D&D Beyond that I posted, and
I say that.
I will pay the gold. It's up to you. If I didn't declare I had it already, I can either go buy one or I can.
I'd say that you have like 2 of those starting out. You've been a thief in Waterdeep for quite some time, or you've been a procurement specialist in Waterdeep for quite some time.
Yeah, a wheeler and dealer.
Okay, so you
all right.
have that. You can buy a good stack of official-looking paper. You know what the city uses. You've forged this something like this before. So that would cost you 1 gold coin, but I'll give you like a big stack of that, so you can use it again in the future. If you, let's say that you got 50 pieces of official-looking paper.
All right.
Okay, so with all that in hand, what check do you need to roll to do a forgery?
So it says here, if I want to duplicate someone else's handwriting, it's a dice check of 15 usually. If I want to duplicate a wax seal, that's a dice check of about 20. And this is the ability score that this is factored is with dexterity. You could also factor in deception. That's kind of part of it. I guess it says if you have proficiency with a tool, add your proficiency bonus to any ability check. Okay, so yeah, this is like part of the tool set. Actually, let me check my tool proficiencies.
Yeah, if you're not proficient with this,
Yeah.
I think that's wrong.
I know I am. I picked it because I have thieves' tools, forgery kit, disguise kit. So I can add my proficiency bonus. So yeah, I guess you can determine how difficult the check would be, and then I will mimic the summons.
Let's say with between all the signing of official documents you did or with the bar, you've even seen the artificer's signature, and then you know the wax seals, what they look like by heart. So I'm going to say this is a difficulty check of a 13. All you have to do is get it past a guard. Actually, I'm going to call it 11.
Okay. So let me roll. Yeah, 23.
23. With that, you are able to make an incredibly looking document. Elzerna even goes, EB, your handwriting is incredible. This is beautiful in a way.
Well, thank you. And I try my best to not do a Fraser impression, and then I will saunter back with the goblin in tow to Blackstaff Tower.
The goblin says, look, you got to teach me how to write like that. I can read, but writing? Oh, man, I've always wanted to do that. So you walk back up to the guard. He asks for the paper. You hand it to him. He looks it over, and it's spotless. You could confuse even the clerk who actually sends these things out with this. It's that good.
Nice.
Maybe. So he lets you through. He hands it back to you. And anybody else that stops you, you just tell them that you're here for jury summons. You show them that, and they direct you up. They say, it's going to be up there on the 15th floor. Have you ever taken an elevator before, sir?
I don't believe I have. No.
Okay, it's going to be a weird concept. You're going to feel like you're falling, but you're actually going up. Very weird. Just hold on to your stomach. Make sure the girl and the goblin don't shit themselves. And he directs you over to this like strange box that's just sitting in this circle. And then you notice above that box, there's a perfectly square cutout in each of the floors above. You feel like you could almost see all the way to the top of Blackstaff Tower and see the sun poking in from the outside. You step into this box and you close a little gate, and a little attendant in there says heading to the 15th floor, and waves their arms in a magical flurry, and this box begins to rise up, slowly at first and then very quickly, and you do truly feel like you are falling as you go up. You and the goblin react to this hesitantly. Elzerna, a former noble, is used to this. Sam, I don't think we've ever said it explicitly, but Elzerna is actually Elzerna Castellanter. Yeah. They kidnapped her, and now she pretends to be a street urchin named Stacy, and she willingly left that life behind.
Gotcha.
Okay, so y'all ride up to the 15th floor, and we are going to go to a special map here, actually.
And I will say, and this actually might kind of work in terms of like not metagaming, but probably after my ordeal here, I'm probably going to hop off and go to bed because I'm pretty exhausted, but I can continue on with
Okay.
this portion.
Okay. Sam, you are brought up to the 15th floor, and arrange all this. You step
This
out.
looks like something, just like the floor tiles reminds me of like something out of a Nintendo game.
Yeah,
like Kirby or
It does look very Nintendo-ish. You step out into this tiled room, and you see a little plaque that says Office of the Blackstaff. And you step forward and you see a woman who is clearly the Blackstaff, the captain of Force Grey, the chief law enforcement officer of Waterdeep, the legendary witch Viraj Safar, or legendary sorceress Viraj Safar, holding the titular Blackstaff in her hand. She is keeping the peace here and keeping watch over everything, because to your left and to your right are a bunch of jurors. There are 7 in the room. With your goblin, that would make 8. Further back into the room, you can see the artificer is having a hushed argument with this owl person right here, an Aarakocra who looks like an owl. And then further back in the room, there is another Force Grey officer who I don't think you've met before. As you walk into the room, Viraj Safar, the Blackstaff, says, "Greetings, all. I assume that you are here with a jury's summons?"
We are. And my goblin friend is the one who has been summoned.
He says, yes, and I assume this is your ward, daughter?
Oh, I'm babysitting, for lack of a better term.
She says, well, this normally isn't the place for children, but I assure you with me here, nothing will harm her. Goblin, please make your way over with the other jurors. And the goblin kind of just...
Sorry, I just looking at juror number 1 and...
Yeah, these are
really
great. I had some fun making these. I'm gonna make these tokens bigger. They should be bigger.
he's like the Fabio of Deep Gnomes.
Yes, exactly. I think this is actually a character from a different D&D podcast that was a gnome that got put
funny.
under a handsome spell, and this is some fan art of that. And the goblin comes over here with juror 5, 7, and 4, and the Blackstaff says, well, there's really nothing else for you to do here. And as you're saying that, the artificer steps over and goes, Miss Blackstaff, that is an agent of a deputy of mine. I sent him out to collect, and she looks over at the goblin and she puts 2 and 2 together and she says, I sent him out to get the last juror that was summoned. EB, could you come up here and talk to me? I'll pay you for your services. And the Blackstaff seems satisfied with that and walks over here and begins reading a book.
All right. Yep. I'll go up and talk with the artificer.
The artificer walks up to you, and she's about to start talking to you when this Aarakocra owl woman comes over and says, "Miss Annabeth, I assume," or that should be a more prissy voice. "Miss Annabeth, I assume that you know that this is most highly unconventional. You have already begun the jury selection process, and the Doom Raiders lawyer, Silas, isn't even here." And the artificer says, "Well, maybe if he had shown up on time, that wouldn't be a problem." And the Aarakocra woman says, "He would be here on time if you hadn't changed the time 30 minutes ago." And the artificer says, "Things move fast in the city. I don't know what to tell you. Could you give us some privacy, please?" And she kind of like flexes her bronze arm. So EB, you've seen the artificer in a few different states. You've seen her with a silver arm, which you know is very powerful, but is the result of her making a deal with Asmodeus. She stopped paying for that deal, so she went to having her normal, weaker bronze arm back. This arm is more crude and rudimentary. It is first-generation technology, and as such, it causes her a bit of pain to use it. It is not only her arm, but a few of her internal organs, as well as one of her legs, is artificial. That mental connection...
I was going to say, if she stops pain even further, is it going to be reduced to like an arm made out of discarded popsicle sticks?
No, this is her default. This arm was made for her by her father. The silver arm is the upgrade from the devil.
Gotcha. Okay.
So through that mental connection that you share with I actually forget what I was going to say. The artificer can cast magic out of this bronze arm. It's fine. So she kind of flexes that arm, and this woman right here, Featherstone, kind of glares at her, seems unintimidated by her, but walks away nonetheless. And the artificer steps forward and says, "EB, did you bring a fake juror here? That's brilliant."
Of course not. I brought a real juror.
She says, "Of course you did." And she kind of smiles at you. She says, "It's nice that Huel and his friends actually have someone smart with them."
I agree. And speaking of something that may be of great importance to this case, I suggest that one of your deputies contact Thorgrim. He sent an urgent message to me that he found something quite foul, and the Doom Raiders seem to be responsible.
She says, "I will reach out to him about that, and Metagame will handle that next session."
Okay.
She says, "So what's the plan? Do you know what evidence is being fabricated? I have to give my opening statement later today and she looks at a watch on her arm, and you notice she actually has 3 watches on that arm. You have no idea what those would be for. She says, "In 5 hours.
I'm going to use Thieves Can't Speak. I don't know if she knows this. Maybe, I mean, if she's the head of the police force, she probably is familiar with it. Okay.
Try it out."
And I'll get basically in the verbiage. I'll just say he's planting more than one body that we found.
She says back to you in perfect thieves' cant. She says, "Are they older bodies? Because the Doom Raiders have been in jail for a month."
And then I will say in Thieves Can't, we're working on that. Not ideal, but something that we can fudge, so to speak.
She says, "That's excellent, most excellent." And she pulls out a notebook and she begins writing in it. She does this all the time. She keeps notes about almost everything that happens to her, especially during the course of official business. And then she reaches into her pocket and she pulls out a bag and hands you 5 gold coins for your escort services, she says.
All right. And then I give her a suggestion of, maybe some sort of necrotic spell might be of use. I don't have access to those. But
she says, "I know a mortician or 2. I'll see what I can do in a short time. Keep this in mind for next session, Sam."
Okay.
Because you might have to coordinate with Thorgrim. And as y'all are talking and she wishes you on your way, she says, "I'll make sure the goblin gets on the jury of 3. Okay? We're going to whittle it down from 8 to 3. She says, "Actually, It would be of great help to me if you could talk to some of these jurors, feel them out. We want the ones that really appreciate law and order. We don't want the ones with a lot of nuanced thought or empathy or critical thinking skills, or that are well read, or that have ever interacted negatively with law enforcement. We want the good people, the proper citizens on the jury. Those will be the ones that break our way. And as she does this, you can just feel Elzerna getting like a little bit angry beside you.
I'll give Elzerna a look like, let's simmer down here. And then I'll go over to the jurors.
Okay. Elzerna is going to like look at all these fancy books around. She is an easily distracted child.
Nice.
And the artificer steps over here and says to Featherstone, if your boss, Silas, doesn't get here soon, I'm afraid we're going to have to start jury selection without him. There's nothing I can do. There's protocols. And Featherstone says, I've taken shits with more moral backbone than you, Annabeth. You walk down here. EB, who do you want to talk to first?
1 sec. Sorry. I had to get my cat out of the way.
It's okay.
I'll go over to sure number 1, 3, and 6 over yonder, and
you step into this circle, and as you step in here, it appears to like be designed to insulate you from noise. So the clatter of like boots from the hallway outside, and the artificer and Featherstone's argument kind of fades into the background. And as you step in, you see this halfling right here wearing glasses and a straw hat, chewing on a piece of straw. He nods at you. Juror number 3 kind of grunts in your direction, and juror number 1 says to you in deep gnome, "Oh, hello, brother. It is so good to see another gnome walking these fine halls." And he tosses his hair back and forth, and it's glorious. It has weight and bounce to it, but it kind of floats in the air as he does, and his shirt is just such a pure, unstained fabric of pure orange. And he says, what brings you here? Are you one of the fellow jurors?
Indeed, I agree him back, and then I say, I am, and then I kind of say in common to the rest of everyone, this is why I love this city. What a diverse group of fellow citizens doing their civic duty.
The halfling grunts at that in a disapproving way. I'll just go ahead and tell you what their jobs are. Juror number 6 is a retired city watch officer. You can tell by the way he wears his clothes, and he still has his personal copper badge pinned to his chest. There's a gash through it, which is the official sign of a retired city watch officer. He doesn't have any authority, but he gets respect around the city. Juror number 3 is some kind of tavern keeper. You can tell by the stained apron that she wears. And then juror number 1 is clearly a model.
Clearly. All right. I say this is quite the case. The jurors know about the case before. And by the way, me in real life, I know like maybe like half of how the actual court proceedings work.
That's great. Me too. This works like a trial in a TV show works.
Okay. So I would assume that the jurors have a vague idea of what it's about.
Very vague idea. Although if you found out that they knew something, that would disqualify them. And if you want them disqualified, that could work for you. Likewise, if they seem to be biased and know something, and they're biased against the Doom Raiders, that could be good for you too.
Okay. All right.
Your fellow Sverniblin says, "Yes, I've heard it's about some famous bards that did some nasty business." And he seems, I can't wait to know the details. And he seems kind of excited about it.
Yeah. Yeah, I've heard that as well. I heard they're quite the flamboyant troupe. Very, they have their, I've heard they even have quite the following in the city, a group of groupies or fans.
Do you know who it is? Do you know who's being on trial? They're being very hush-hush about it all.
No, I haven't gotten that detail yet, but what about you? I look at the tavern keeper and I say, is this a sort of sorry lot that you'd like to see behind bars, or?
She says, all I care about is this is keeping me from my job, keeping me from my tavern. I don't even know if the owner's gonna keep me hired after this.
Mm,
She says, whatever this trial is, I want it over with fast.
gotcha.
What's up, man? And then the retired City Watch halfling looks at you and says, whatever it is, if they done broke the law, they're gonna get the long arm of the law.
Yeah. I say quite right. Well, nice meeting you all. And if we're selected, I will see you on the case. And I'll go over to the other people.
Okay. There is also a juror up here by herself. Juror number
Oh,
2.
yeah. Is that a cat lady?
Yes.
Okay.
This is a tabaxi woman. She's very thin and frail. She looks young in her mid-20s. And she is looking at these books, and she also has a rat crawling around on her back. A clean rat, not a filthy sewer rat.
Say hello.
She says, "Ow, hello."
Oh boy. Meow. That's what this D&D game will devolve into. Me and Mike meowing at each other.
Meow meow.
Meow.
Oh yeah.
There is that official cat language in D&D.
Oh my lord, that's fun. My cat's speaking the official cat language to me, and she's saying, "Give me attention or give me food."
Yeah, that's usually what they want. What do you ask her? I know you're getting tired.
Oh yeah, I am, but it's funny when I get tired, I get a little loopy. So maybe I'll just drop all pretense and I'll say, I'll just like grab them by the collar. No,
Turn it to
there definitely is like a Frasier plot somewhere in here. Yeah. Oh, actually, I remember which one it was, but I will spare everyone and I'll continue playing.
Thank you.
uh,
Sam with the Herculean effort of not telling us the plot of a 30-year-old TV show episode. Sam, you get inspiration for that.
Yay, Frasier inspiration.
Frasier inspiration.
Yeah. I get one. I get a +1 bottle of sherry.
Yeah, there you go.
I say, so are you looking forward to being selected on the jury?
She says, "Oh, I really hope so. I'd love to contribute to the city and everything in it. Oh, it's so nice to have like a functioning justice system where everybody gets their say and all the truth will come out." And she seems to be a naive, true believer in the system.
Mm-hmm. Right. I say, quite right. And I give her a very, a pleasant, diplomatic smile. And I carry on and go toward the other people.
As soon as you're not paying attention to her, she's not paying attention to you. And okay. You walk over to this last group where the goblin is sitting kind of uncomfortably in a chair. There is a dragonborn here who is a chef. Juror number 4 is a cart driver, and juror number 5 is an accountant. Number 4 and 5 are humans.
Okay. I approach them not too flamboyantly or hastily, and I'll just walk in and I'll sit down and I won't say anything for a while. Then eventually I'll strike up conversation with is that a lizard person or a dragonborn?
Dragonborn.
Okay. And say, well, this is a nice day off of work, huh?
He says, "No, man, my restaurant's got to go out of business if I'm not there. I got to make sure everything's there. I've got to make sure the meat's cured right. I've got to make sure it's marinated right. Make sure the right amount of salt on there. If Evans doesn't store them at the right temperature, it's not going to be good. And then the plates have to be perfect, and the forks got to be perfect, and the napkins got to be perfect."
All right. And I look over to one of the other jurors and I say, "You know that guy?"
They go, "He doesn't stop. Everything has to be perfect all the time."
Oh, he's that guy from The Bear.
Yes, exactly.
He's smoking right now, and he has perfect hair.
He has a plastic cup. The white shirt he's wearing just fits him perfectly.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Yeah. That $300 white.
Yeah, white shirt, not stained, perfectly tailored, not stretched at all.
I'll say, well, what about you folks? I'm enjoying the day off of worrying about what I have to do for my day job.
Juror number 5, the accountant woman says, "My accounts will look after themselves. I look forward to this new opportunity to look through the facts and the figures and come to the truth."
Okay.
Juror number 4 says, I think I'm gonna say that, shoot, what would he say? What's something you could say to get out of jury duty?
Homer Simpson says, the trick is you have to say you're prejudiced against all races.
Juror number 4 says, "I fucking hate elves. I fucking hate goblins. I fucking hate dwarves. Even other humans. I hate them. I despise them. I don't want to be here because I have to be around other creatures."
You could also slow yourself.
I'm
but,
not a. I'm
Your
not
name
a.
Brax. Oh, sorry. I'm not there.
I'm not a bigot. I just hate everyone.
All right, nice.
And Sam,
I think I get.
Yeah, he's lying so that he can get out of jury duty.
Right. Yeah, a lot of these people don't want to be here, just like real life jury duty.
Yep.
So I'll go back to the artificer.
As you are
And,
walking by the black staff, she turns
Mhm.
around, doesn't look up from her book, and says, "I don't know why Miss Otti hired you, but I will tell you the same thing I tell all her other deputies. Fail her, and you will deal with me." And then she turns around and goes right back to reading her book.
All right.
All right, you walk up here to the artificer, and the artificer says to Featherstone, who she's arguing with, she says, "You have delayed this trial for far too long, Featherstone. It is time for the Doom Raiders to stand in the sunlight. I know that they're allergic to that." And Featherstone says, "Wow, you are really bringing a lot of bias before the trial even starts. And we've been delaying the trial? No, we've been waiting for the evidence that you failed to present. We can't defend someone if we don't know the evidence against them." And the artificer says, "Oh yeah, you can't concoct a story without learning the truth." And they're just having like a little like standoff. You walk up to the artificer and she steps away with you. What do you tell her?
I say, all right. So here's what I found out. Juror number 5 is no good. She'll want to sniff out the facts and want to give this thing a fair trial.
Right, don't want that.
Half the people don't want to be here, so take that as you want. Juror 7, 4, 3, they're all regular working people.
She says, "The other person that I know in the bag is juror number 6, retired city watch officer. Will pretty much do whatever I say. I made sure that he was randomly selected," she says, while doing finger quotes. She says, "So between him and your goblin, we have 2. Who do you think would be the better choice? Juror number 2 or juror number 1?
Juror number 2. Juror number 1 would probably fall for the Doom Raiders. He seems like he's halfway a fanboy, even just mentioning them, not even by name."
I was hoping you would be high class enough to be prejudiced against them, but perhaps not. Okay. Thank you very much for your help, EB.
All right.
And
Says now I'm gonna get back to work.
yes, I'll make sure your goblin friend stays safe. What's his name, by the way?
Oh shit.
It is Fiddlestick. That's his real name.
Fiddle. Wasn't it something different? Wasn't it Wiggle Stink?
Sean, what was it?
I think it was Wiggle Stink. Or Jiggle Stink. It was Jiggle Stink.
Yeah, it was Jiggles.
Jiggle Stink.
Yeah. That's what happens.
Sorry,
at the magic tournament.
it's Jiggle Stink, Dog Fart, and Dirt.
Okay, yeah, this one's name is Jiggle Stink.
Nice.
She says, "I will write a Mr. Jiggle." Okay, well, no, that's worse. I'll forge a name. And EB, as you begin walking down these stairs with Elzerna so that you can leave, the doors are flung open, and entering the jury selection room, the Blackstaff's office, is the Doom Raiders and their lawyer. They all walk in here, and you see the flamboyant Doom.
Sorry. Their fucking lawyer.
And he comes in and he says, "Nah, I've said it before, I'll say it again, I'll say it all the time. There's nothing more corrupt than the Force Grey when they're on a case. This is an absurd trespassing of my client's rights, and I refuse to let this trial continue until I have had time to vet all these jurors and evidence is presented to me." They all walk in. Schema Weirdbottle, who you've met before, the gnome bard wizard, Istrid Horn, the dwarf bard cleric, Zaraj the hunter, the orc barbarian, and Davil Starsong, the legendary bard.
He looks like Foghorn Leghorn if he was
Yes.
in Mad Max.
Yes. It's great. I love it.
Oh my god.
Davil walks in, not a care in the world, even though he is handcuffed and wearing a prison black and white striped canvas outfit. Zaraj the hunter walks in and she shakes the ground with every step that she makes. She's so massive. Istrid Horn walks in confidently as well, but struggles to walk as her feet are chained as well as her hands. Schema Weirdbottle is unchained and he looks up at you and he seems a little bit confused. And the Blackstaff and the artificers say, "Arrest that man. Arrest Schema Weirdbottle right now." And Silas says, "You will not touch one of your corrupt fingers upon my client, as you have presented no evidence for his guilt. As far as my other clients, you arrested them illegally on merely accusations, and you have kept this trial pending for more than a month. If you lay one finger on Schema Weirdbottle, I will sue you for every finger that touches him. Do you understand me, Miss Blackstaff, Miss Artificer?" He says, "I've already filed the paperwork. All I would have to do was call the judge to take a look at it." And both the artificer and the Blackstaff stand down a little bit. And Silas comes up and he begins talking to the Blackstaff, yelling at her, really, yelling at a very powerful sorceress about proper procedure and the legal code, the code legal of Waterdeep. The Doom Raiders all start walking up the stairs, all three of the chained ones, and they walk right past you, EB. And Dabble kind of looks at you. He looks you up and down, and he doesn't smile at you, but he doesn't frown either. He looks at you with a very neutral attitude. Istrid Horn walks by you and says, "Excuse me, love, gotta get up these stairs and these chains they illegally put on me." And Zarj the hunter says, "Move."
I'll move out of her way.
You move out of the way, and the Doom Raiders are going to be parked here until the trial starts. EB, you are down here alone with Schemo Weirdbottle, and Schemo kind of looks at you and looks over to Stacy, and he narrows his eyes. It seems like he's a little bit on edge. He says, "EB, what are you doing here, man?"
I said, I was communicating with the artificer for business. I'm deliberately keeping it vague because I don't know what way Schemo is leaning, so I'm trying to play it off vaguely.
Yes. He says, your buddies, Huel and Blinken, they told me that you were doing something to help protect me and my family up there. You got any information about what that is?
I think it's better if you don't know. The less people know, the less likely we are to slip up.
Yeah. Okay, sure. EB, roll an insight check on Schemo.
Okay. And I'm going to try something maybe to rest assure him.
Okay.
Here's one thing I can fill you in on. And I'm going to thumb over to the goblin. I'm going to say, "One of Inchi's guys, huh?" And I give him a wink.
Roll your insight to see his reaction to that.
Okay. Oh, shit. I rolled a real life dice. I'll do it in roll.
That's
20.
fine. Just tell me what you rolled.
Okay. So insight is 3. So I got an 11.
An 11. With that,
Yep.
he looks over at the goblin, and then he looks over at Silas, and then he looks back at you, and he says, "Oh, yeah, sure, man. That sounds great. Thank you so much for that. That's a big... I have to go talk to our lawyer real quick." He says, see you at the trial or not, I guess. And he seems kind of off put, which is weird because you and him became good friends on that day that you spent hanging out.
Yeah.
But he walks over to Silas, and you see him motion for Silas, who's like 8 feet tall, to like bend down. And Silas goes, "What is it, my good sir?" And Schemo whispers in his ear, and Silas goes, "Most distressing indeed. Don't worry, boy, I'll take care of it, just like I've taken care of all your other cases." And the Blackstaff goes, "Yes, work of the highest quality. My gods, it was like the evidence fell right into your lap to let off all your clients." And EB, is there anything else you would like to do in this room?
No, I think I did everything that I wanted to.
Okay. So for everybody else here, this is Silas Sterling, also known as Silas the Spur Sterling, the Doom Raiders lawyer. He is not a Doom Raider fan. He is not a member of the Doom Raiders. He is the lawyer they pay to get him off of, to get them off for their crimes. This is Featherstone, his assistant.
Oh, right. Yeah.
All right. And EB, you are going to leave Blackstaff Tower with Elzerna. And she says, "Did anything seem off about Schemo? Maybe it's the stress of the trial."
Yeah. He did seem off. Could be that. Or maybe it could be something else. And I narrow my eyes slightly.
She looks back at him and says, "I really hope he's okay at the end of this." And you two exit Blackstaff Tower. All right, Sam. That is it for you tonight. The rest of us are going to play for about 20, 30 minutes, okay?
Actually, might stick around now. I don't know. I think laughing really hard at Silas.
I would love to keep you in the room so I could keep doing Silas's voice.
Yeah.
Yeah, as long as you could do a Frasier voice. No, I'm kidding.
Says, I once knew a fellow by the name of Fraser. Uptight bastard, I would say. Very smart, though. He says, "We will begin the official process of jury selection, and let's make this official. It has been a farce for far too long. Artificer, you will be opposing counsel. I've seen
A farce, like Frasier.
I've seen all the paperwork." God damn it, Sam. He says, "So if you come down here, we will begin whittling this down to a jury of 3. And Sam, that's where we'll leave you.
Okay.
Gonna have a lot of fun doing Silas. All right, Huel and Blinken, it is back to you. You have just left Colot Towers. What would y'all like to do now? You have still not fabricated any evidence.
Well, I wasn't planning to. I was trying to, get info from Schemo, but
I kind of realized as like things were going on that is the rest of the party, they like, you guys are going in the opposite direction, so like we're both putting plans in motion and we're going to see which one actually happens. Is that what's going on?
I think for the most part, yeah, because obviously Blinken doesn't think Schemo deserves to go this route. He's trying to convince him that obviously the Doom Raiders are a bad group,
Yeah.
and then that's what he was trying to do, is try to see what he believed is true or not. And it seems like he keeps thinking that it's true, that the Doom Raiders are, they have good intentions, but obviously Blinken doesn't believe that. So in that case, I don't know what would we do after that. Probably try to figure out like where the other group would go to. I don't know if Huel has any other ideas, but I would think that the next thing we would do is probably maybe go to the prison or something, just to see if if we could find Schemo there or something. I don't know, because I don't know what else to do on this part. Because we got 5 hours till the trial, right?
Yes, you do.
Mm-hmm.
Let's metagame here a bit. Schemo would have said that Schemo told you that he was picking up his friends and taking them to jury selection, so you would know that he is at Blackstaff Tower.
Okay. Well, if that's the case, I guess after all of that, I would think that we would probably head towards Blackstaff, unless we could come up with something along the way. But Blinken has no other ideas right as of right now to as any other ideas of fabricating, because that's obviously Thorgrim's thing, where he dumped the dead bodies and stuff and let it do its work in the fishes there. So
Okay, I think that's a good idea. We'll of course give Thorgrim a couple turns to fabricate evidence next session.
yeah.
Huel, fabricating a few dead bodies is good, but you could always make the artificer's case even stronger. Is there anything you would like to do? Is Kirby here?
That's a good question. I don't know.
Kirby.
Kirby.
This is the thing
Kirby.
I don't like about splitting the party. People get distracted.
Mm.
Well, okay, let's take you guys over to Blackstaff Tower. If Kirby wants to do something, we'll handle it next session. Inchi,
Yeah.
did you want to do anything else?
No, because he just mostly eating and chatting up with these new Thieves Guild friends that he's making.
Yeah. After a while of that, you've eaten your gruel and their meal time is over, so they go about their duties. Some of them talk about that they have to go guard the construction of the Afterlife Casino. Some people are talking about the blood tournament that's going to be coming up in a couple weeks that coincides with the opening. But eventually they leave, and they just leave all their dishes on the table, and you head out of the Thieves Guild. Is there anything else?
As they're leaving, I just say, "Bye-bye, guys. Make sure to bet on me in the tournament. Bye-bye."
They all give a big laugh, and then some of them say, I've already put money down on you, big man.
Hey, that's my man.
All right. Inchi, you leave
Yeah.
the Thieves Guild and you come out to the big, wonderful city of Waterdeep. What would you like to do now?
And she would like to go join his friends.
All right. You also head over to Blackstaff Tower. You guys approach the guard, and you would kind of explain that you're helping the artificer, and the dude would look over a book that he has, and he says, "Oh, you're already on the page. Yeah, you're going to head up into the tower and go to the 15th floor. Jury selection is happening about now."
All right, yeah.
All right, so everybody's on this page. I'm going to make these tokens smaller because there's limited room. Okay, EB or Inchi, Blinken, and Huel, you all get to Blackstaff Tower around the same time. You also ride the discomforting elevator up 15 floors. What's your reaction to that as the box starts just floating up into the air at about 30 feet a second?
Repeat that. Who's in the box? Is it Jigglestink?
No, Inchi, Blinken, and Huel. Jigglestink is already upstairs.
Oh, she's admiring the floating box. Trying to see if it's just an illusion. Then he's just going to walk up to where his friends are.
All right.
And,
all of you ride the elevator up. You enter the 15th floor, and you are greeted by EB and Elzerna. You can see that around the room there are 8 potential jurors that are going to get narrowed down to 3. As all of you walk into Blackstaff Tower, Schemo looks at all of you and looks you over, and then he looks at you, Inchi, and he gives you a nod. And Silas Sterling, the Spur, the lawyer for the Doom Raiders, steps up and says, "Oh, I didn't know that we were having an audience here today, or else I would have brought all my assistants and my associates. It seems like the deck is stacked against me, but I've kicked your ass up and down the court before, Miss Annabeth. I'll do it once more." He motions for all of you to go up here to this box area to stay out of the official area. So you would come up here.
Okay.
Along with Schemo. And then for those of you that know him, Griffin McElroy is back here in the very back. That is the City Watch officer that's the captain of the Griffin's Cavalry.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I think we've interacted with him
Yeah.
a long time ago.
He's a minor NPC. He's mostly here to remind you that the Griffin Cavalry exists. And Silas steps forward and says, "Well, since so much obfuscation happened, I'm sure that the prosecution would not mind me asking the first question to our gathered jurors here. And the artificer says, I'm sure you wouldn't stop talking even if I... And he cuts her off and says, Juror number 5, please step forward. I have a few questions for you. We're going to call Jiggle Stink juror number 8. So juror number 5, the accountant, steps forward and says, yes, sir, how could I be of assistance to you? He says, now, you saw my clients as they walked into the room. Can you tell me what you think about them just based off sight alone? And she says, well, they appear to be prisoners. They appear to be unkempt. They have done a quite astonishing amount of body modifications with their piercings and their tattoos. And she says, and what does that make you think about them? Please don't hold back. Please be honest. We're just trying to arrive at the truth here. And juror number 5 says, well, they appear to be the kind of people that have broken the law quite a few times, but I cannot be assured if they are guilty or not of what they're being accused of today. I have yet to see any evidence. And Silas goes, well, that there's very, very interesting answer. I like that quite a bit. The artificer steps forward and says, juror number 5, you are an accountant by trade, correct? And juror number 5 says, yes, ma'am. And the artificer says, have you by any chance ever done accounting for taverns here in Waterdeep? And she says, oh, most assuredly I have. My firm handles many businesses all throughout Waterdeep. I'm an official member of the Accountants Guild, high ranking no less, been serving for 20 years. And the artificer says, those Doom Raiders up there have owned about 6 taverns all throughout the city of Waterdeep. Can you assure me that you have never done any work for them at all? And juror number 5 says, well, I can't be sure whatever has crossed my desk, but if they've done business in the city, my guild has most certainly accepted them. And the artificer cuts her off and says, this juror is clearly biased against for the defendants. She will need to be excused on technical grounds. And Silas says, well, I object. There's absolutely no... And Blackstaff cuts him off and says, juror number 5 is dismissed for bias based on official business conducted with the defendants. Juror number 5, please leave the room. Juror number 5 bows and politely leaves the room. So that is how the process of jury selection works. They both ask a question. They can dismiss them on a technical ground or ask that they be kept. As you guys are up here watching this, the Doom Raiders are right across from you, and they would recognize Huel and Blinken and Inchi. They would not recognize Elzerna or EB. Let's see. Blinken, you weren't disguised during the fight. Huel, you were disguised during the fight. And Inchi, they know you very well because you ripped a giant green emerald stone right out of Davil's ear. Yeah. So Davil
gives a teethy grin.
He is staring daggers at you. He despises you. If he wasn't in chains right now, he would probably be trying to kill you. Zaraj the Hunter doesn't even care that she's in chains. She stands up and says, that's him. That's the goblin. And she says that to Featherstone. And Featherstone whirls around and looks at you, and looks you up and down and narrows her eyes at you. And she turns around and says to Zaraj, sit down, be quiet, don't do anything in this building. Do you understand me? And Zaraj seems to trust this Featherstone person. Istrid Horn waves at you, Huel, because you played a song in their bar once and did a very good job of it. Blinken, they would only know you because the Shadow Man would have said that all 4 of y'all hang out. If Thorgrin was in the room, well, no, Blinken, you helped get them arrested. So they all stare daggers at you as well, Blinken.
And I'll just wave and say, how's it going?
Oh, yeah, Blinken, you would also have Zaraj's bow.
Would I don't think I would carry it with me, do I?
No, it's in the briefcase of holding. But you do have her giant bow with the arrows as thick as saplings.
Yep.
Do y'all say anything? Do you do anything?
I just, smile and wave.
Smile and wave, boys. Smile. Okay.
Yeah, no, that's what she's already doing.
It is the artificer's turn, and she says, juror number 2, please step forward. And the tabaxi woman steps forward and says, yes. The artificer says, juror number 2, what is it that you do in this city? And the tabaxi says, I'm a mouse catcher for the city. People can hire me to come and capture all the mice that are invading their business. I, of course, capture them humanely and release them into the wildlands. And the artificer says, and have you had any interaction with the law enforcement of Waterdeep before? And juror number 2 says, absolutely not. I don't do anything that would violate the law. Every time I see a member of the City Watch, I give them a polite wave and thank them for their service. And the artificer says, well, you seem like a lovely lass. I think that you should be our first pick. And Silas steps forward and says, now hold on just a second there. I also get a say in this. Juror number 2, have you always lived in Waterdeep? And juror number 2 says, I don't believe, or I haven't. I actually came here only 2 years ago. And Silas says, well, are you familiar with how legal proceedings in the city work? Can you name any section of the code legal? And juror number 2 says, well, I assume that it's against the law to harm a noble or to steal from a business or to do fraud against a guild. Oh my, what horrible things. And Silas says, I would like for juror number 2 to be dismissed. She does not have enough knowledge of our city. She seems like a great person, but frankly, in a jury of 3, we need a jury of experts. And the Blackstaff says, there is no law or technicality that would allow us to dismiss a juror simply because of ignorance of the law. Silas, it would be your job to inform her of what the law is and argue your case. And Silas says, well, whatever. At least she seems like a nice enough lass. I accept juror number 2. Juror number 2 becomes the first.
Just waiting for him to just like say like, but she's a hick, she's a rube, just like tear into her.
What is a ute? Oh, sorry.
That would be
you,
for cross-examination of witnesses. I don't think you can be mean. I don't think you can be mean to jurors in jury selection. Okay. Back up here with all of you. You have another chance to interact with the Doom Raiders if you would like it. Do any of y'all do anything?
We'll just look at him. Kind of.
Yeah, I mean, Blinken doesn't really do anything. Like, he just kind of, eyes them and just kind of waves and, kind of.
Actually, oh wait, nope, I don't have that ability yet. I forgot. I made that mistake last session. Yeah. I'll have to wait till I level up.
And she just whispers to Schemo, can they know that we're on the same side now? They keep staring at me.
Do you walk up to Schemo and say that?
Oh, is he like across the way?
Yeah. Do you?
Okay,
can
never
you
mind.
see the screen?
Nope.
All right, I'm going to send you a screenshot.
Yeah, they're literally like across the path from where we're at.
They're like 5 feet
My bad.
away from you.
My bad.
It's not too great a distance. So you could like take a couple steps forward and whisper to them. Okay, I've got an image loading into the Discord right now. So if you wanted, like, y'all are separated by like a small walkway that's like 10 feet across. So you could step across that if you wanted to.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
All right. Yeah.
He goes over to Schemo and whispers what he said. Hey, can you tell your guys that we're on the same side now? They keep staring at me.
Schemo says, I got your message earlier, man. What do you mean? Like, what's going on? Like, really, what's going on? Your friends haven't told me that they've done anything to stop the Artificer and her fucking corrupt rampage.
They're on her side.
He says, what? They would have told... See, this is why you stick with family. Because family doesn't ever do anything, doesn't ever hurt you. You gotta stick with them no matter what.
Look, they're good guys sometimes, but they won't listen to me. I want to help you and your family. I am.
Okay, well, you can go back over there and you can tell Huel and Blinken that Davil and Istrid and Zarge, they don't know anything about the fans and what they're doing in this city. It's probably just some fan club out here to support us, okay? We need it. We got the whole city rally. We got the whole law enforcement of Waterdeep rallying against us. It's nice that we got some fans at our back.
Yeah, all right. Good luck.
Inchi, as you step away, there's Silas's assistant, their lawyer's assistant, not a paralegal, just an assistant. She looks you up and down, and it's very unsettling. It looks like she sees everything about you through her thick, round glasses. And you step back. What do you say to the group? to your
Uh,
friends, the half pints.
So guys, I guess they don't know where the fans are coming from or what they really are. So, that's
Just
I don't know,
all-
man. It's weird. But yeah, okay. I mean, if they don't know anything about it, then we need to figure out where they came from because, when we dealt with them, something evil came out of their mouth and it came from something.
Shit. Inshi, I'm so sorry. You need to roll an insight check on Schemo when he said that.
fair enough.
We're almost done, Sam.
Oy. Oh, this is good. I like the tension. And
Yes.
is Inchi hiding this from me? Because I am assuming that we're vaguely aware.
No.
Well,
So
I don't know.
Inchi,
discussed.
can I
Yeah.
tell them since
Oh,
you
yeah,
just
go
kind
for
of
it.
said it out loud?
Yep.
So
Yeah.
Sean messaged me last session. He wanted to send a warning to Schemo. He sent him
Okay.
a paper bird that said, in very bad spelling, "Schemy, my friends are giving up on your friends. I don't want to. Imchi."
Okay. Gotcha.
So that's meta knowledge. You don't know that, but you can tell that Schemo,
Right.
that's the reason that he's been distrustful of you guys.
Okay.
Okay, now it's round 3. Let's see here. Silas Sterling steps up and says, "Juror number 6, the esteemed retired member of the City Watch, please step forward." And juror number 6 steps up and says, "Report." I did a fucking southern voice for him. "Reporting for fucking duty, I guess." And Silas steps up and says, "Now, in your long, esteemed, and no doubt spotless career as a City Watch member, have you ever fabricated evidence against anyone?" And juror number 6 looks taken aback and says, I would never do." Fuck. It's hard to go from Silas to like a normal country voice. "I ain't never
I
done."
thought y'all sounded like that.
Nah.
They sound completely identical to me.
He says, "I ain't never done nothing like that, and frankly, I resent the implication." And Silas says, "Well, I think that the man doth protest a bit too much. I mean, really, juror number 6, would you not do anything for justice?" And juror number 6 says, "I would do damn near anything for justice."
I say
Damn near-
objection, leading the witness.
Uh,
Sorry.
Juror number, do you actually say that, EB?
No, that's a joke.
Okay. Juror number 6 says, and steps forward and says, "I would do damn near anything for justice. Matter of fact, if the black staff called me back to duty today, I'd be back cracking heads out there in the street." And Silas says, "This man is clearly biased against anybody that's had run-ins with the City Watch. And sir, how long ago did you retire?" He says, "I retired, unfortunately, hit the age limit about 5 years ago." And Silas says, "Well, this man was no doubt active during all the other bullshit that was thrown at my clients. My clients have been accused of damn near 30 crimes over their years in Waterdeep, and I will remind everybody standing here that only 5 of them ever stuck. Small civil violations that my clients paid off immediately, and then some, because they give back to the community." And the artificer steps forward and says, "Fine, Silas, you don't need to go on and on. The trial hasn't even started yet. Juror number 6, unfortunately, I'm going to have to ask you to leave." And juror number 6 says, "But you said," and Artie says, "I asked you to leave." And juror number 6 begins leaving the courtroom.
But you already gave me a bribe. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, basically. The artificer steps forward and says, "Oh, let's see here. Juror number 8, Mr. Figglestonk, please come here." And she points at Inchi, your cousin, who steps forward and says, "Yes." And he says a word he's never said before. "Ma'am." The artificer says, "Juror number 8, will you vow right now to follow all policies and procedures that we require of jurors. Of course, we will pay you a stipend for your time here. I know we're asking you to step away from work, and we'll of course give you a meal for 3 meals for every day that the trial goes on. And at that, the goblin says, "Oh yeah, I'll follow all the rules that you got, ma'am. That won't be a problem." And Silas steps forward and says, "My good man, you look quite young there. Can I ask about how old you are?" And the goblin begins counting on his fingers, and then he loses track and he starts over, and he says, "I'm 22 years old, sir." And Silas says, "Well, it's always nice to see a young man doing his civic duty. Can I ask you, I'm reading here on my report that you were brought in late today. What happened now?" And the goblin is going to have to lie. And he says, "Oh, well, I've never been around Blackstaff Tower before. I kind of stay in the Docks Ward, North Ward area. It's just I don't really get around here much. I got turned around. Someone wanted to see the palace. We thought it was right next to it, and traffic." And he's gonna roll a deception check with disadvantage. No, just a straight deception check. He needs to beat an 11. With that 13, Silas says, "Well, now I do know that this city will make it run around like a chicken with its head cut off. But I ask you this, Mr. Goblin. Can we assume that you will show up every day for the trial on time? Justice, of course, waits for no one." And the goblin says, "If you're serving breakfast, I'll be there early." And Silas says, "I have no problem with this juror." And the artificer says, "I also have no problem with this juror." The second juror is going to be Inchi's cousin, the goblin.
Yeah.
Up here at the top, and we're so close to done, they're just going to pick the final juror.
Mhm.
Davil steps forward, and he begins singing a song, a strange little song, and it's a song about a tavern keeper counting his gold at the end of the day, and he goes, "Sold 99 bottles, but only 2 coins are left after I paid off everyone." He says, "Oh, I wish I could have a vault of 1 million gold coins." And he looks over in y'all's direction. Inchi, what do you do when he says that?
Repeat that, please.
Davil was singing a song, and part of the song lyrics were, "Oh, how I wish for a vault of 1 million gold coins."
I whispered to my crew, "Oh, the Doom guys, they might have made a deal with Asmodeus."
What?
Those guys over there, the Doom guys, they made a deal with Asmodee. Well, Avi, technically.
Pray tell, how do you know that?
I talked to Avi, and he was talking about my mother, and I got mad at him, and we kind of fought and argued, and Xanathar and Nilhor was there. It was a whole thing. But it turns out they made a deal with him, and looks like this game was rigged from the start. Eh?
So, well, good thing this trial starts in a few hours. I think we need to say a few words to. Wait, what?
Oh yeah. Your art girl, she's placing bets on this court system.
What?
And trying to rig it for her own profit. That's who you voted on.
And evil people. I did not vote for that. The group did.
I got outvoted.
Yes. That's called democracy. But anyways, I think that we need to maybe discuss this later, after they pick the jurors, and maybe even talk to Schemo about that, because I did, want to see if he thinks his family is, good or not. So that's good to know, though.
You do know that Schemo fucking hates Avi and really wishes his family would stop making deals with Avi behind his back.
Yeah.
I did regret not bringing this up to him whenever I was speaking to him, but oh well.
Yeah, you'll have more chances to talk to him. But real quick, let's go around the circle. When Davil said that lyric about a vault of 1 million gold coins, he was looking at all of you. Blinken, what did you do when he said that?
I'm gonna be like shrugging my shoulders, saying the devils, and then that's it.
Davil smiles at you. EB, when Davil said that lyric, clearly referencing the Vault of Dragons, what do you do?
Yeah, give him a look. Make eye contact with him.
He is going to insight you. You need to roll a deception check. Whoever rolls higher wins. So if he rolls higher, he's going to read your body language and see that meant something to you. Does that make sense? Does that seem fair?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. He's going to roll and you will roll. Oh, shit.
Oh,
Davil,
boy.
what is...
Holy shit.
Insight is an intelligence check, right?
I think it's wisdom.
Wisdom. I don't think that's
Yeah.
Davil's strong suit. So yeah, EB, you clearly win that. You stare him down, stone face. He doesn't quite get anything from you. But Blinken's comments about the devils. Davil steps back and Featherstone says, Davil, sit down and for once in your life, shut the fuck up. Whose turn is it now? It's Silas's turn. Silas steps forward and says, now let's see here. We got 4 beautiful looking jury members. I'm sure each and every one of you would be incredible, but I'm gonna ask, juror number 1, please step your flamboyant ass up. Juror number 1 steps up and says, oh, thank you very much. Silas says, now juror number 1, have you ever had any run-ins with the law? And juror number 1 says, oh, yes, some of my co-workers occasionally get into, let's call them frowned upon substances. And then, of course, above my head, there's all sorts of fraud. I don't concern myself with the business. I just wear the clothes and look good. But me, myself, no, I've never had any issue with the law. And Silas says, now, when the City Watch came and approached your friends and approached your bosses, were they kind? Were they gentle? Did they follow the law? Were they utmost professionals? And juror number 1 says, some of them were, occasionally. Some of them were, occasionally, but not always. You know, I get it. Sometimes you got to be a bit gruff to get by in this world. Not me. I'm just beautiful. And the artificer steps forward and says, juror number 1, would you have any sort of bias against the City Watch? If City Watch gave his testimony, would you believe it fully? And juror number 1 says, well, as long as there was collaborating evidence, I don't see why I would doubt him. Anybody that risks their life must be doing it for some reason. And Silas says, now juror number 1, that is an interesting opinion. But before we make our final check, let's just ask some more questions. And he looks up at his assistant, Featherstone, and the artificer looks up at you guys. She wants to know who else she should call upon to ask some questions. Remember, juror 3, 7, and 4 were the ones that had jobs that don't want to be here. But that could go either way in a trial, you know?
Right. Probably, I would say 3.
3, the tavern keeper. Okay.
Yeah.
They all seem pretty much the same, in my opinion. Although juror number 7 is a bit neurotic, obsessive. I don't know if that's good or bad. It's something we could lean on, but
That's a possibility, yeah.
All right, taking Blinken's lead here, the artificer will call upon juror number 3, and she says, juror number 3, do you have anything that would distract you from the events of this trial? And juror number 3 says, yeah, my job. I shouldn't be here. I should be at the tavern cleaning glasses. We got to open in a few hours. I don't know how you expect anybody working a full day's work to be able to take anywhere from a couple of days to a couple of weeks off work just to hear you two argue back and forth. And the artificer says, thank you kindly. And Silas says, the defense would like to select juror number 1. And the artificer sighs and does a final look through of everyone and says, I have no problem with that. Juror number 1, you are accepted. And the juror kind of shakes his shoulders back and forth and says, ooh, exciting. I've never seen a trial before. And he walks over here with juror number 2 and the goblin. The other potential jurors are dismissed, and they go, thank the heavens and the hells, I'm getting out of here. And this is going to be the jury of 3. These are the people that will vote on the Doom Raiders' guilt or innocence. And the Blackstaff steps forward and says, with that, I will summon the judge. Oops, I accidentally opened iTunes. Fuck me. And I'm mostly doing this because I want to show off her token because it looks cool as hell. The doors open about a minute later, and a woman steps in.
Oh, yeah.
She seems to walk confidently, despite a blindfold around both of her eyes. There are scars around both of her eyes underneath that blindfold. It looks like something horrible happened to her long ago. She carries a shield with the scales of justice on it, and in her other hand she carries her gavel, a +1 hammer of justice. This will be the judge during your trial. She walks confidently, with no nonsense, no doubt. She moves forward with the spirit of justice, and she says, if the jury has been selected, then the trial will begin in 3 hours. The city of Waterdeep versus the Doom Raiders.